Great teachers help create great learners. An inspiring and informed teacher is the most important school-related factor influencing student achievement. A pleasant morning to all of us. My courtesy to our public schools district supervisor, Dr. Janita Ogalan, to the different school heads of Cluster 6, and to my fellow educators. Ladies and gentlemen, I welcome you all to our first day of the cluster-wide 4-day in-service training for this year, 2022. To officially start our program, may I request everyone to please settle down as we all gather virtually in singing our national anthem and to be followed by prayer and singing of our regional, division, and cluster hymn through this audio-visual presentation.
Mga kababayan, ang pambansang awit ng Pilipinas.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم فقال ربكم ادعوني أستجب لكم آمين يا رب العالمين الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين آمين اللهم اجمع شامل المسلمين وكريستيان واللومد في مدينة دباو وسلم دائما مجتمعنا هذا بالسلم والأمن والتقدم في بلدنا هذا آمين يا رب العالمين ربنا لا تزغ قلوبنا بعد إذ هديتنا وهب لنا من لدنك رحمة إنك أنت الوهاب ربنا إنك أنت الوهاب ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار وصلى الله على خير خلقه سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم سبحان ربك رب العزة عما يصفون وسلام على المرسلين والحمد لله رب العالمين آمين يا رب العالمين.
In the name of the Father, Son, and Holy Spirit. Amen. Our most gracious Heavenly Father, we come to you today to praise and worship you and give you thanks for all the things you continue to provide for ourselves and our families. Father, we humbly ask for forgiveness for all the times we have offended you, when we forget to acknowledge your presence in the image of our brothers and sisters, and for moments we fail to be good stewards of the blessings you have given us. Continue to guide and protect each one of us, Lord, that we may always walk in the light of your everlasting love and mercy. Grant us, Father, with your comfort in times of distress and with your strength in times of weakness. Bestow upon us your unending grace and healing, that we in turn become instruments of gentleness and compassion to others. We ask all this in the name of your Son, our Lord Jesus Christ, with the prayer and the intercession of our Blessed Mother. Amen.
Manama, mawantog ka. Warapoko iling ko'y ko. O Diyos, kahibulungan ka. Busa ikaw lang ang simbahon ko. Busa ikaw lang ang alagaran ko.
Pinanggang yuta, may bukid apong halaging taas. Haring agilan, nasudnong langgang, waling-waling hanas sa kamulakan. May ulawan, ug haring durian, lubiong saging, lugas na milian, yutang gimahal sa Davao Elyo, makugihong mga tao. Ang milangko, mga probinsya, Mga dakbayan nagkahiusa, may gituuhan nga Diyos. Davao de Oro, Davao Oriental, del Norte Occidental, del Sur, siyudad sa Davao, Panabutagong, Samal Island, Matiudigos. Davao Region, di panalikdan, mga bahanding kinaiyahan, yutang tabunok, daghanang lindot, nga kapanginabuhian. Garbo sa tanan ng Davao Region, among yutang agipanggan.
Davao City Division, to thee we pledge our loyalty. Our city's pride and honor, the future we will shape through thee. Hail quality education, we shall strive head, hand, heart, and soul. Hard work, unceasing effort, we shall lead till we reach our goal. Let's be filled with gladness, dedication, and deep commitment. For in the youth lies our nation's hope. Heaven's mission and vision, with divine guidance will never fail. The fountainhead of wisdom, through thee our nation lives. Together we march onward, prosperity. Let's be filled with gladness, dedication, and deep commitment. For in the youth lies our nation's hope. For in the youth lies our nation's hope.
Eagles of every dreamer, marching on to their glorious feet, counting all life descends from heaven, leaving all hopes and endless care. For progress the master's sees, see that all love belongs to thee, see the dawn strong hill where they lie. If we sing through the mist of morning, first everyone like the twice as day. Confidence, grace, unity, commitment, collaboration, compassion, character, needless to luminous selection. We serve, we live, we prepare. To lead excellence by example, that brings peace and unites humanity. The echoes of every dreamer, marching on to their glorious feet, fountain all that descends from heaven, healing all hopes and endless scale. Confidence, creativity, commitment, collaboration, compassion, strawberry dreamer, marching on to heaven's feet, counting all life descends from heaven, giving all hopes and endless faith. For God is the master's seat.
Good morning once again to all our viewers who are actively participating and diligently watching our live streaming today. It is my pleasure to be your host for today's session. I am Hazel Joy Amnase from Santini National High School. I would like to remind everyone to please accomplish our attendance for today's session through the link which will be shown on our screen later at exactly 10 o'clock in the morning. Also, we will be awarding certificates at the end of the session today for our teacher participants who are early to register on our attendance link. We will also be reading shout outs later on. So please don't hesitate to write down or comment your message, greetings, or insights later. I would also like to remind and inform everyone that we are tasked to have our individual output at the end of this week's in-service training. This time, I would like to call on to acknowledge and introduce the energetic and vibrant school heads of Cluster-6. Help me welcome on our screen the Acting Administrative Officer of Santo Niño National High School, none other than Ma'am Lerma B. Salomon. My respect to our very workaholic yet efficient PSDS, Dr. Janita Ogalan. Special greeting to my principal, Ma'am Heidi L. Porzuelo, to all the dynamic school heads of Cluster 6, and to all the teachers out there, good morning. This is a virtual gathering of Cluster 6, the Cluster NSET, highlighting the flexibility in the teaching and learning process and intensification of basic education in the preparation of face-to-face classes. My task for today is to introduce the different schools, school heads, and teaching staff of Cluster 6. Without wasting your time, let me start with Mintal Comprehensive High School. For the junior high school, school head Dr. Leia M. Camilotes with 83 teachers. For senior high school, Mr. Rodrigo J. Cayanong, their school head with 22 teachers. Santo Niño National High School, school head Ms. Heidi L. Porzuelo with 46 teachers. Tacuna National High School, school head Dr. Emmy B. Gokong with 31 teachers. Matina Biao National High School, school head Mr. Armando V. Travero with 11 teachers. Tagakpa National High School, school head Mr. Elmer A. Suarez with 22 teachers. Los Amigos National High School, school head Mr. Raul A. Kabilugan with 47 teachers. Tugbok National High School, school head Mr. Yolando I. Cortez with 35 teachers. Emilio J. Sepuna National High School, school head Ms. Merle E. Bangat with 22 teachers. Biao National High School, school head Mr. Ariel F. Lorenzo with 24 teachers. Talandang National High School, school head Mr. Felix O. Abelio with 11 teachers. Optasiano Hilay National High School, school head Ms. Gina M. Kiabas with 19 teachers. Ula National High School, school head Dr. Jason J. Reyes with 11 teachers. Bago Oshero National High School, School Head, Mr. Christopher N. Labastida with 9 teachers. The last but not the, Norberto Bacaro Senior National High School. School Head, Ms. Lizarity Bargayo with 6 teachers. Bartolome Integrated School. School Head, Mr. Henry P. Valladares with 16 teachers. New Valencia Integrated School. School Head, Mr. Antonio D. Tutor with 15 teachers. Balderas Integrated School. School Head, Ms. Joanna May L. Rojas with 7 teachers. Carmen Integrated School. School Head, Mr. Robert B. Ariate with 16 teachers. The last but not the least, Dato Ambis Jarog Integrated School. School Head, Mr. Marlon Paul G. Sampayan with 4 teachers. Those are the 19 schools of Cluster-6 Division of Davao City. Thank you for listening and happy learning. Thank you very much, Ma'am Lerma B. Salomon. That was our acting administrative officer in Santo Niño National High School. And now, at this time, to formally open this program and deliver her opening remarks, help me welcome our very own school principal too of Santo Niño National High School, none other than Ma'am Heidi L. Forsuelo. Virtual applause, please.
To the very active, dedicated, and committed Cluster-6 Public Schools District Supervisor, Dr. Junita Ogalan, to the very hard-working and excellent school heads of Cluster-6, teachers, non-teaching staff, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. And service training has for many years been the driving force behind much changes that occurred in the area of teaching and learning. It is very essential that teachers keep up to date on the most current concepts, thinking, and research. This in turn supports in their lifelong learning as educators, as professionals, and as individuals who are responsible for the education of the next generation. Teachers play an active and vital role in the development of productive and dedicated citizens in these trying times. Thus, it is my joy to welcome you all in our Cluster 6 and Service Training 2022. Good morning and may God bless us all.
Thank you very much, Ma'am Heidi L. Forsuelo, for that wonderful remarks. That was the mother of Santo Niño National High School. At this point, let us all together shift the energy and be more engaging through an online energizer that we have prepared. I hope everybody will participate actively wherever you are right now. Here is a presentation for all of us.
All right. This was nice and fun. We had fun putting it together. I have Nishi and Kiara with me. Let's go. Tap. Clap, clap. Open. Good. All right, we're going to keep the hands the same. We're going to change the feet. Take it out. 4. Good, good. Open. All right, we're going to have a change here. Rock. Good. Up, then down. Rock. Up, down. Shine. Good, nice and smooth. Rock it out. And up. We're going to start from the top. Good. Once again, we're going to change that leg motion to open and close. Open. Good. Nice and strong. All right. We're going to rock it out. Take it up. Up and down. Rock. Good. Shine. Rock it out. Up. We're going to have a change here. Roll it over. Good. Roll.
All right, so that was our very short and simple online icebreaker. I hope that Energizer got everyone on the same page before getting on with our discussions later. Let me inform everyone about the house rules for today. We have house rules all throughout this week's in-service training. First, house rule, log in on time. Please be on time in attending every session, and we must also value other people's time. Second, mute your mic. Always mute yourself while you are not speaking. Be polite and we do not interrupt. Third, let us be prepared for technical difficulties and we must ensure a stable internet connection. Since we are live streaming, in case of voice issues, leave the meeting and join by caller dial into the meeting platform. And lastly, be active and pay attention to the presentation. We take notes, we use our chat for your comments or any insight. So that was our house rules for today and for the rest of the days for this week's in-service training. At this juncture, to give us his inspirational message, let us have our very own Public Schools District Supervisor of Cluster-6. Help me welcome none other than Dr. Junito O. Galan. Sir?
Hello, Hazel Joy Emnase. Good morning, our beautiful host for
Morning,
today.
sir.
And I would like to greet all the school heads, the 20 school heads of Cluster 6. I could consider it 20 schools because sooner or later, Mintal Comprehensive High School, Senior High School will become standalone school. So I could consider the schools under with me in Cluster 6 are 20. Okay? So good morning, 20 secondary school heads. Good morning. We have 11 senior high school teachers, schools in Cluster 6. We have also 19 junior high school teachers in Cluster 6. And so we have 5 integrated schools in our Cluster 6. So before I forget, though this is a inspirational message, but para di ko makalimot, I would like to request the reading coordinator in Filipino and English, as well as the consultant in Filipino and English as coordinate us in reading, that you have to submit your report. Our cluster 6 elementary and secondary is being uh, asked to submit the said report the soonest possible time. Okay? So again, good morning, everyone. This major performance review and evaluation is anchored on Deped Order number 21, series of 2021, no? That is on January 31 to February 4, 2022. In line with this division DepEd order, the Division of Davao City issued also a division memorandum number 183 series of 2022 dated January 25, 2022 regarding the mid-year review and evaluation, and that is why our cluster is having this Mpre for starting today until Friday. But tomorrow we will be celebrating the Chinese New Year. So advance happy Chinese New Year. So our we are free tomorrow for our major performance review and evaluation. So I just want to focus on our media review and evaluation, considering that this is more this is centered or anchored on the teaching learning process. Now, I am emphasizing this to our school heads, teachers, and so with the teachers, that your individual performance review and evaluation, or IPCRF, for teachers and OPCRF for school heads, you have to be truthful in accomplishing the part for the individual developmental needs. Why? Because supposedly the major performance review and evaluation, considering the in-service training, must focus on the training needs of our teachers, the developmental needs of our school heads. So I am appealing to all school heads and teachers that you should be truthful in accomplishing the part 4 of your OPCRF and IPCRF. Second, na I just want you to inspire. It's because of the result of the Brigada Escuela, no, competition, the division level. I just want to congratulate, no, I would like to congratulate Ula National High School for being the first place under the small category. Ula National High School will represent our division and even our cluster to the regional level. So congratulations to Dr. Jason Reyes for a job well done. Congratulations also to the stakeholders of the said school. Another school that gave honor to our cluster is Takuna National High School. Congratulations to Dr. Emmy Gukong for bagging second place in the recently concluded the Brigada Escuela competition large category. And so I would like also to congratulate the schools in our cluster, because our cluster is Center of Excellence and Service. That is why I would like to commend the following school who gave also honor and prestige to our cluster last December during the awarding of the most outstanding schools. First place is Santo Niño National High School, headed by Heidi Porzuelo, the most clean school in the division of Davao City large category. Another award that we received from our Cluster 6 is the most safe school large category, Takuna National High School. I would like to congratulate Dr. Emmy Gukong for garnering first place. Another award that we received last school year is the most safe school in the medium category. First place, we have Bartolome Integrated School. Congratulations to the teachers, especially the school head, Henry Valladares. Another award that we received, that we garnered last December, is the most improved school, small category, Dato Ambis Jarug Integrated School. The school head is Marloni Sampayan. Marloni is here with me this morning. And so, with Talandang National High School, who won most safe school under small category, uh, congratulations to Mr. Felix Abilio and the teachers of Talandang National High School. Now, being your Cluster 6, I am very proud and happy that amidst pandemic, you were able to sustain our programs, activities, and projects. And we also sustained the different, our mantra, no, our dictum, which is excellence and service, ministerium et excellentiam. And so with the different schools, you were able to sustain and maintain your standard as to the delivery of quality, inclusive, and accessible education. No, prior to the singing of the Cluster 6 hymn, I really I focus my inspirational message with our Cluster 6 core values. No, I do hope you were able to memorize this as reflected in our Cluster 6 hymn, Ministerium et Excellentiam. Our Cluster 6 core values are commitment, competence, creativity, compassion, collaboration, and character. So with these 6 core values that we have, I am pretty sure that the 19 schools were able to establish this in their school community, and you were able to promote this as part of our dictum, Ministerium et Excellentiam. So in this time of pandemic, the values of commitment were already manifested in your respective schools by providing quality, accessible, and inclusive education among the youth in the community. By showing competence in our Cluster 6, each of you were able to adhere our mantra, Ministerium et Excellentiam, Service and Excellence. With the values of creativity, we always adhere the Republic Act 10533, the K-12 Basic Education Curriculum, that all teachers and school heads must possess the 21st century leadership skills. We show also compassion in this time of pandemic, considering that our cluster rather, initiated this Project Care. Competence, Project Care stands for competence, accountability, responsibility, and excellence. Thus, we were able to partner with Marilog High School of Agriculture last December 15, 2021 as our memorandum agreement signing. Another values that we have is the values of collaboration. We always believe with our dictum that it takes a village to educate a child. We should always navigate and we should always connect to our stakeholders because the success of the programs, activities, and projects, especially in the improvement of the learning outcome, depends so much on the participation of our stakeholders. As a matter of fact, we were able to make it to the top in the Brigada Escuela and in the most outstanding schools. It's because of our partnership and collaboration with our stakeholders. And the last is character. I believe that commitment is nothing without character. Competence is useless without character. Creativity is futile without character. Compassion is nothing without character. Collaboration is useless and nothing without character. We must promote this, establish this to our uh, to our learners, considering that the curriculum exit of the K to 12 basic education curriculum is employment, entrepreneurship, higher learning, kolehiyo, and of course, the media level skills. So again, congratulations, and my salute to the documentation team, my salute to the three schools, the three school heads for accepting the challenge. Santo Niño National High School, the documentation team. We have Mintal Comprehensive High School team and Takuna National High School team. And before I end this inspirational message, I would like to inform everyone, because siguro of our mantra, excellence and service, our schools in Cluster 6, namely Tugbok National High School, Pintal Comprehensive High School, and Tacunan National High School are the participating schools in the Program for International Student Assessment. Morning ginatawag to PISA, the International Assessment in terms of math, science, and reading. So get ready. Tugbok National High School, Bintal Comprehensive High School, and Tacunan National High School. It's really our challenge in the division of Davao City. Very challenging here because these three schools, participating schools, are coming from Cluster 6. I do hope that the three schools, the school heads, Dr. Emi Gukong, Dr. Leia Camilotes, and Mr. Yolando Cortez have planned on this, no? On this incoming PISA, or Program for International Student Assessment, this coming March 2022. Okay? So congratulations, teachers. Congratulations, school heads. You were able to hurdle the 50% accomplishment for school year 2021-2022. What is very important here in our in-service training, in this mid-year performance review and evaluation, is your accomplishment, is your individual output, no? Especially in your IPCRF and OPCRF, and of course, the presentation of the learning continuity plan, or the basic education continuity plan. Here comes the face-to-face, no? The incoming face-to-face of our learners. So thank you very much, and congratulations, everyone. Keep up the good work. Keep safe, everyone. Mabuhay ang Cluster 6.
That was our Cluster 6 PSDS Dr. Junita Ogalan. Advance Happy Chinese New Year, sir. Thank you so much for the inspiring and stimulating ideas that you have shared to all of us, and for all the loving reminders, and for the appreciation for all the undying efforts of the teaching force of Cluster 6. Of course, all of these achievements is because of your excellent leadership. Thank you so much, Dr. Junita Ogalan. And now, we will be reading shout-outs before I introduce our speakers to have their discussions later. Let us read some shout-outs first from our viewers. Let me remind everyone that we can be seen, our live streaming can be seen through our YouTube link as shown in our screen. We have a shout-out from Dominador Angkos Manon. Good morning, Mabuhay Cluster 6, watching from Biao National High School. Thank you so much, sir, for watching our live streaming. We also have from Socorro Basho. Good morning, everyone, watching from Los Amigos National High School. Good morning po, ma'am. We also have from Sir Raul Cabilogan. Good morning lahat from Los Amigos National High School. Wow, very active ang Los Amigos National High School. Nakadalawang comment na tayo from them. We have Cristile Joy A. Fernandez. Good morning. Watching from Mintal Comprehensive High School. Rooting for Cluster 6. Hashtag Mpre. Hashtag Day 1. Thank you very much, ma'am. We have Ma'am Aimee Timbal Cano. Good morning. I'm Niti Cano, watching from Ula National High School. I would like to acknowledge also my dear friend, Dr. Jason A. Reyes, the school head of Ula National High School. Good morning. We have Maj Sechico. This is our teacher. Good morning, watching from Santo Niño National High School. Hi, Ma'am Ann. Good morning. Thank you for watching. And please do not hesitate to write down your messages, your insights, and your comments later on for our another shout out session. And now, this time, help me welcome our first speaker for this session, who will be talking about the calibration of performance for Teachers 1 to Teacher 3. Help me welcome none other than the school head of Optasiano Hilay National High School, Ma'am Gina Mekyabas. Ma'am? Morning, ma'am.
Good morning, ma'am. My courtesy to our school's division superintendent, Dr. Rinaldo M. Galiana, our two assistant schools division superintendents, Dr. Jinky B. Ferman and Dr. Marilyn V. Diduyo, our brilliant division chiefs, CID Chief Dr. Almasis Sifra, SGOD Chief Dr. Teresita F. Del Valle, to our dynamic and committed Public Schools District Supervisor and Cluster-6 Head, Dr. Janito O. Galan, our highly respected and hardworking Cluster-6 school heads, to our competent teachers participants coming from our cluster schools. A pleasant morning to you all. My task this morning is a calibration of performance, IPCRF for Teachers 1 to 3. But up to this time, there is no update with regards to our RPMS IPCRF for this school year. So for now, our basis is IPCRF for school year 2020-2021 in time of COVID pandemic or COVID-19 pandemic. So without much ado, I will now start with my presentation. First slide, please. All right, IPCRF and the new normal. This is reference to DepEd Order number 12 series of 2020, the adoption of Basic Education Learning Continuity Plan in light of the COVID-19 public health emergency. Context, as the learning delivery changes, so do the duties of teachers to their learners and the performance expected of them. The expectation of teachers must be captured and their performance assessment through a more contextualized results-based performance management system. Our main objective is to revisit, kasi wala tayong update ngayon for school year with regards to our RPMS. So mine is just to revisit RPMS IPCRF indicators for teachers 1 to 3 and the new normal. All right. Now, objective 1, applied knowledge of content within and across curriculum. This objective is under KRA number 1, content knowledge and pedagogy. When we say content knowledge and pedagogy, this is the integration of expertise and teaching skills for a particular area, appropriateness of pedagogy to teaching area. Now we need two MOVs here, the non-negotiable MOVs, COT1 and COT2. Next slide, please. Now, COT rating sheet this is the COT rating sheet for teachers 1 to 3. This classroom observation tool has been developed based on the new set of professional standards. This is to accurately come up with professional development program targeted at the specific needs of teachers. This is designed to capture snapshot of a teacher instrument during a single classroom observation visit. Now, in RA 10533, otherwise known as K to 12 law, features classroom observation as one gauge in ensuring quality teaching. Feedback from classroom observation provide quality inputs for the continuous improvement of teacher practice and provide opportunities to share ideas and expertise, as well as promote mentoring and coaching among colleagues. So there should be 2 classroom observation for the entire school year. Raters should submit 2 classroom observation tool rating sheets or observer agreement form as for objectives 1, 5, and 7. Okay, next slide, please. Now, please allow me to give the definition of terms on parts of RPMS tool. For number 1, we have the KRA, which is Key results areas, which are the general output or outcome that are expected. KRAs capture the domain of the PPST. Now, second, objective in the RPMS are indicators in the PPST. This specific things you do to achieve the result you want. Okay. Now, next is the MOV. There are 2 types of MOV or MOVs that we have. Our main MOV. This refers to the non-negotiable MOV needed to demonstrate attainment of the objective. And the other one is supporting MOV. Refers to the list of MOV rates could choose from to support the main MOV and the attainment of the objective. Okay? Next part of the RPMS tool, we have the performance indicator. There are exact quantification of objectives. It is an essential tool that gauges whether a performance is good or bad. Agree on acceptable tracking sources. Now, when we say performance indicator, provide, okay, as you can see, it provides description of quality and quantity given 5 performance levels. So 5 for outstanding, 4 for very satisfactory, 3 for satisfactory, 3 for unsatisfactory, and 1 for poor. Now, performance indicator of these objectives or performance indicators for these objectives are identified for quality except for objective 6, which has quality and timeliness. Okay, and of course, our QET in our slides, that is performance measures, the what we call effectiveness or quality, the extent to which actual performance compares with targeted performance. Second, efficiency, the extent to which time and resources is used for the intended task or purpose. And the last one is timeliness, measures whether The deliverables was done on time based on the requirements of the rules and regulations and our clients or stakeholders. Next slide, please. All right. Okay. Again, our objective one is the applied knowledge of content within and across curriculum teaching areas. When we say across curriculum teaching areas, you have to integrate the content within and across curriculum teaching areas. Now, why do we integrate subject? Okay? To integrate subject allows students to have a deeper understanding of the subject matter, how to apply what they have learned in the classroom in the real world scenario. Integration also is in all content areas creates a strong foundation for learning. And students are more actively engaged if there is a relevant, meaningful activity that can be connected to the real life scenario. And for this objective, two MOVs are required for the entire school year. In computing the rating of quality, you are going to get the corresponding RPMS 5-point scale rating of its CO2 rating. Okay, as you can see, first MOV has a rating of 6. CO2 rating is 6. So it corresponds to RPMS 5-point scale rating of 4. And a second MOV is also a CO2 rating sheet 2. Okay, which is 7. CO2 rating is 7. And it corresponds to RPMS 5-point scale rating of 5. So in order to compute the rating of for quality, you are going to calculate the average of the RPMS rating. So you are going to calculate MOB1 and MOB2 divided by 2, the average is 4.5, and then find the transmuted RPMS rating. So 4.5 is round up to 5, so that is 5, which is outstanding. So RPMS rating for quality, this objective is 5. Now, if you want to get a rating of 5 in the quality, meaning that there is alignment between performance indicator and the objective, and that your MOV presented and submitted should be showing alignment and attainment objective to be valid. Next slide, please. All right. Now, our objective 2, ensure the positive use of ICT to facilitate the teaching and learning process. Okay, this objective is under KRA 1, Content Knowledge and Pedagogy. Number of MOVs, 2. So any supplementary materials could be printed or print or digital. Okay, so we have activity sheets, 1 lesson from self-learning module, lesson plan, and video lesson and audio lesson. Okay? All right. Now, this objective to ensure that positive use of ICT to facilitate the teaching and learning process, the learning material are able to create new kinds of learning experiences that were not possible before using mga social network sites, no? And it is generally believed that the use of ICT that includes any communication device, for example, cell phone, computer, or any um, or any that transmit, no, that transmit communication. Okay, the following terms adopted: Ruben Puente Dura's SMAR, or what we called SMAR model. When you say SMAR model, according to him, substitution, augmenting, modification, and redefining, and technology integration. Number one, ICT use, redefine, and transform learning experience. Second, ICT use, augment, and enrich learning experiences. Meaning, so that so the use of tool provide value-added experience. Say, for example, you are using the Google Jamboard, makes discussion interactive. Okay? Then number three is, according to him, that ICT use modify processes and improve learning experiences. For example, using Google Docs for real-time collaboration in group activities. For our teachers, sometimes, naamang mo ingon nga, kuan ka ng, tigulang na ko sa serbisyo. Unya, wala na ko'y time, ana. Okay? So, but mind you, sir, ma'am and sir, it's never too late. So if you are still in the service, the only important thing is that our hearts are open and willing to adapt changes and learn new things. So ana ra gyud na. So mas hawd pagod ang atong mga estudyante sa ato ano. So kita pod we are open to some changes and learn new things. Okay? Now for this objective, 2 MOVs are required, no, for the entire school year. Okay? So MOV1 is lesson plan with RPMS 5-point scale rating of 3. Anong 3 siya? Ensure that ICT use modify processes and improve learning experience and are documented properly and consistently using the referencing style. See? Kaya, 3 lang siya. So, sama na siya. When we say modify processes and improve learning experience. So, nagamit lang siya Google Docs, no? For real-time collaboration and group activities. So, isa lang yung dito lang siya nagamit og Google Docs. So, during sa iyang group activities. So, RPM is 5-point scale rating of 3 sa lesson plan niya. So, you're going to highlight kung naaman kay gusto naakay mga MOV for that objective, you're going to highlight sa imong lesson plan. So that would be 3. So for MOB 2, activity sheets. So RPM is 5-point scale rating is 4. So why 4? Okay, ensure that the ICT use augment and enrich learning experience and are documented properly and consistently using any referencing style. So to compute for the rating, to compute the rating for quality, you're going to calculate the 2 MOVs. Okay, and 3 plus 4, we have 7 divided by 2. That is equivalent, the average rating is 3.5. So find the transmuted RPMS rating. So tanaw na to ang transmutation table. 4 is very satisfactory. Okay? Next slide, please. All right, objective 3. Applied a range of teaching strategies, critical, and creative thinking, including the higher order thinking skills, or what we call the HATS. Okay, so in this objective, this is also under KRA1, content knowledge and pedagogy. So number of MOVs, 2. So any supplementary material, print or digital. Okay, activity sheets, one lesson from self-learning module, lesson plan, video lesson, and audio lesson. So according to, from Lorien Anderson's revised categories of cognitive domain under Bloom's taxonomy, okay, creative thinking, according to, based on DepEd year 2017, page 24. Creative thinking skills involve exploring ideas, generating possibilities, and looking for many right answers rather than just one. So, during sa classroom observation, so ang teacher, kanang mo draw lang gani isa ka answer. So that would not be enough. Kailangan mo generalize ta or mo generate tag possible or possibilities and looking for many right answers rather than just one answer. So that is creative thinking skills. Now for critical thinking skills. This referred to many kinds of intellectual skills that occurs when students are analyzing, evaluating, interpreting, synthesizing information, and applying creative thought to form an argument, solve a problem, or reach a conclusion. So, ning expand gyud siya, no? Creative thinking, ning expand gyud siya sa iyahang answer. So, naana dito ang naka-analyze siya, naka-evaluate, naka-interpret, okay? Naka-synthesize information and applying creative thought to form an argument. No? Naka-solve siya problem, and not only to solve the problem, but ni-conclude pa gid siya. So that is critical thinking skills. So for this objective, 2 MOVs are required for the entire school year. Okay? For MOV1, lesson plan, RPMS 5-point scale rating is 4. Why 4? Because it applied teaching strategies that require learners to make connections using ideas learned. So this refers to analyzing, determined how parts are related. Okay. Now MOV2, activity sheet, RPMS 5-point scale rating of 4. Okay, still, naka-analyze nag-analyze, which is to determine how parts are related. Okay. Now, in computing the rating for quality, again, you are going to calculate the average rating of the 2 MOV and find the transmitted RPMS rating. So average is 4, therefore, the RPMS rating quality is 4. Okay, next slide, please. Objective 4. This is under KRA2, Diversity of Learners and Assessment and Reporting. It says here that objective 4, teaching strategies, learning backgrounds. Number of MOVs, 2. So any supplementary material, print or digital. Activity sheets, 1 lesson from a self-learning module, lesson plan, video lesson, and audio lesson. So again, Objective 4 established a learner-centered culture by using teaching strategies that respond to their linguistic, cultural, socioeconomic, and religious backgrounds. Now, learning-centered culture, unsa may pasabot ana, okay? Set of attitudes, practices that place the learner at the center of the learning areas or learning process by using varied teaching modalities responsive to learners' diverse background and relevant to meaningful learning experience based on Depth Teacher Education Council of 2019. For this objective, again, two MOVs are required for the entire school year. Okay? Now, for MOV1, we have one lesson plan or lesson from a self-learning module. RPMS 5-point skill rating of 5. Why 5? Naka-utilize siya, no? Utilize effective teaching strategies that are appropriate in responding to learners' linguistic, cultural, social, economic, or religious backgrounds at an individual level. Now, this refers to targeted instruction to an individual learner or to a number of learners. Case. Second MOV, video lesson. RPMS 5-point scale rating of 5. Okay? So in order to calculate the rating for quality, you are going to calculate the average rating of the 2 MOV and then again find the transmuted RPMS rating. Right? Next slide, please. Objective 5. Teaching strategies, special education needs, and difficult circumstances. This objective is under KRA 2, diverse of learners, and assessment and reporting. When we say diverse of learners, emphasize the ideal that teachers can facilitate the learning process in diverse type of learners by first recognizing and respecting the individual differences. Now, use the knowledge above about students' differences um, to design diverse sets of learning activities to ensure that all students can attain appropriate learning rule. So number of MOVs, 2, COT1 and COT2. Okay? Now, this objective also is about strategies, no? That respond to learners in difficult circumstances. Learners have been affected by COVID-19 pandemic, which brought difficulty in the way they learn and live. The efforts the teacher exert to adjust and modify the teaching and learning delivery is captured. So for this objective, 2 MOVs are required for the entire school year. Again, in computing for the rating for quality, you get the for MOV1 COT rating is 6 and MOV2 COT rating sheet of 2 is 7. Okay, get the corresponding RPMS 5-point scale rating of its COT rating. Then you are going to calculate the average of the RPMS rating and then find the transmuted rating. Next slide, please. Our objective 6, provision of accurate and constructive feedback. This is also under KRA 2, diversity of learners assessment and reporting. So number of MOVs, 2. Now, evidences or evidence that highlights providing accurate and constructive feedback to improve learner performance, and that shows timeliness of feedback given to any of the following: activity sheet, performance task, portfolio, quiz or test, and self-learning module. Now, feedback refers to essential and culturally appropriate written and or oral information about learners' performance or output that can use to raise awareness or on their strengths and weaknesses as base for improvement. Okay? Now, points out that what is commonly, or if you are going to uh, or I mean, all MOBs for this objective must contain date, no? Must contain the date to keep track of submission of learners' output and of learners' receipt of teachers' feedback. For this objective, 2 MOBs are required for the entire school year. Okay, so MOB 1, attach activity sheet with teachers' feedback. Okay, so that would be equivalent in RPMS 5-point scale rating, quality of 4. Why is it 4? It provided learners with accurate and specific constructive feedback that point out a specific issue and learners' information or performance or output. Okay. Now, second MOV, we have performance tasks with teachers' feedback. RPMS 5-point scale rating of 5. Okay. Provided learners with accurate and specific and directed constructive feedback. When we say directed constructive feedback that gives a specific direction on how to make improvements. Okay, so again, in computing the rating for quality, you are going to calculate the average rating of 2MOV and then find the transmuted RPMS rating. Okay, so for quality, take note that in this objective, timeliness is included. So for quality, you add up MOV1 and 2. Average rating for quality is 4.5. And transmuted RPMS rating is 5. So provided learners with accurate and specific and directed constructive feedback. Now, constructive feedback that gives a specific direction on how to make improvements. So ni-attach si ma'am dito og kanang unsa nga mga feedback. For example, sa iyang mga quizzes, no? Sa iyang MOB nga gi-attach dito siya mag feedback. For example, sa activity sheet, naa siya feedback dito sa bata. And then, again, take note that all MOBs for this objective must contain date to keep track of submission of learners' output and of learners' receipt of teachers' feedback. Okay? And for timeliness, have 5. Okay? MOB submitted shows feedback given within 5 working days from submission. So, ang timeliness niya is 5. So, you add up MOV1 and MOV2. Average rating is 5. Then, RPMS rating is 5. Again, MOV submitted shows feedback given with 5 working days from submission. So, ang timeliness niya is 5. Next slide, please. Objective 7, appropriate teaching and LR to address learning goals. So this objective is under KRA 3, curriculum and planning. Number of MOVs, 2, COT 1, and COT 2. So we need to attach our COT rating 1 and COT rating 2. Okay? Now, objective 7, selected, developed, organized, and use appropriate teaching and learning resources, including ICT, to address learning goals. Okay. When you say teaching and learning resources, teaching aids and other materials that teachers use not only to enhance teaching and learning, but also to assist learners to meet the expectations for learning. Okay, using textbook, novels, play, multimedia, digital learning resources, including video, audio, text, animation, and lectures. Okay? Now, for this objective, 2 MOVs are required for the entire school year. MOV 1, of course, mga non-negotiable MOVs na to, COT rating sheet 1, and MOV 2, COT rating sheet 2. So, sa COT rating, nakakuha si teacher 6. COT rating sheet 1, for this objective, nakakuha si teacher 6. And then objective MOV 2, COT rating sheet 2 is 7. So, RPMS 5-point scale rating is 4, and COT rating 7 that corresponds to 5 in RPMS 5-point scale rating. So get the average or calculate the average rating of the RPMS and then find the transmuted RPMS rating. Okay? Objective 8, set achievable and appropriate learning outcomes that are aligned with learning competencies. This objective is under KRA 3, curriculum and planning. Number of MOV, 1. Okay? Now, one lesson plan could be DLP, DLL, weekly home learning plan, okay? Yung ating WLP or WLL, yung mga lesson exemplars and the likes, or one lesson from a self-learning module prepared by the ratee with achievable and appropriate learning outcomes that are aligned with the learning competencies as shown in any of the following. Naaba siya sa lecture or discussion, activity or activity sheets, performance task, or rubric for assessing performance using criteria that appropriately describe the target output. Okay? So, we need only one MOV here. Attached MOV is lesson plan. So that is a rating, RPM is 5-point scale rating of 5. That all of the learning outcomes set are aligned with the learning competencies as shown in the MOB submitted. Okay. Now, objective 9. Objective 9, build relationship with parents, guardians, and the wider school community to facilitate involvement in the educative process. Number of MOVs, 4. Any 4 of the acceptable MOV. Okay. Number 1, proof of participation in any activity for improved access to education such as, but not limited to the following activities. Okay? Distribution of learning materials to learners, parents. Example, receipt form or mentoring form during distribution of learning materials and the likes. Second, the Brigada Escuela. Example, commitment form to stakeholders. Develop advocacy materials. Certificate of participation that involves parents or stakeholders engagement signed by the school head. And home visitation. Sample home visitation form. Of course, home visitation form. And others. Kung wala dito, you are going to provide annotation. Okay? Number 2, parent-teacher log or proof of other stakeholders meeting. Example, one-on-one parent-teacher-learner conference log. Attended sheet with minutes of online or face-to-face meeting. Proof of involvement in the learner's parents' orientation. The third one is any form of communication to parents or stakeholders. Example, notice of meeting, screenshot lang ninyo ang inyong chat or text messages or text message. Communication with parent, guardian, and digital or printed copy of learner enrollment survey form signed by the ICT coordinator, our focal person, and school head. So, any 4, 3, 2 of the accepted MOV under efficiency means that the same kind of MOV can be submitted more than one. Example, submitted MOVs could be 2 parent teachers log. Okay? 1 printed copy of learners enrollment survey form signed by the ICT coordinator, our focal person, and school head. And then 1 screenshot for correspondence with parents, video or via an online platform to merit an outstanding efficiency for this objective. So, means of verification, we need any 4 of the acceptable MOVs. Okay, so RPMS 5-point skill rating of 5 for quality. Okay, sustained engagement with parents, guardians, and our wider school community to facilitate involvement in the educative process as evidenced by 2 or more of MOV number 1 or 2. And for efficiency, submitted any 4 of the acceptable MOV. Okay? Objective 10, participated in professional networks to share knowledge and to enhance practice. This objective is under KRA 4, community linkages and professional engagement and personal growth and professional development. Number of MOVs, 4. 4 different kinds of acceptable MOV. So, certificate of completion in a course or training. Certificate of participation in a webinar, retooling, upskilling, and other training seminar workshop with proof of implementation. Another is certificate of recognition, speakership in a webinar, retooling, upskilling, and other training seminar workshop. Next is any proof of participation to a benchmarking activity. Any proof of participation in school lock sessions could be online or face-to-face, certified by the lock coordinator. Kung wala dito, napakay gustong i-attach, you are going to provide annotation. Okay? Now, when we say output, it may include, but not limited to, lesson plan, instructional materials, action plan, or any teaching-related materials. So, ang proof of implementation can be in the form of implemented action plan, lesson plan, executed in the class application projects, and others. Okay? So, means of verification, one for MOV1, another one for MOV2, one MOV3, one MOV4. So, under efficiency means each type of MOV can be submitted only once. So, example, submitted MOVs could be, look at the means of verification. Okay, example MOV, submitted MOVs could be certificate of participation in a webinar, one certificate of recognition. Okay, nag-speaker ka in a conference, pwede na nimo i-appeal. Or another one, proof of participation in a benchmarking activity. And one, proof of participation in school lock sessions, certified, of course, by the lock coordinator. So, RPMS 5-point scale rating for quality is 4. Participated in any professional network or activity that requires output and proof of implementation within the department or grade level to share knowledge and to enhance practice and evidences by the submitted MOV. So gi-share lang nimo sa inyuhang department or sa inyuhang grade level. So that is 4. And for efficiency, submitted 4 different kinds of acceptable MOV. And that is, efficiency is 5. Okay, for our objective 5, under our objective 11, rather, KRA, this objective 11 is under KRA 4, community linkages and professional engagement and professional growth and professional development. Develop a personal improvement plan based on reflection of one's practice and ongoing professional learning. Number of MOVs, 5. Okay, 1 main MOV for quality and any 4 of the accepted supporting MOV for efficiency. So what is our main MOV? Our individual performance and community review form development plan, no? Ang atong gitawag nato nga IDP, no, individual development plan. Mao na siya ang ato ang main MOV. Supported by any 4 of the accepted MOV. So, reflection of one's practice during on lock session with proof of attendance. Reflection or personal notes on coaching and mentoring and or media review. Performance or personal notes, journal, and division or school-led inset with proof of attendance. Another, certificate of enrollment, registration form, or class card in graduate or postgraduate school or online courses. Another, any learning material highlighting the improvement done based on accomplishment. Atong reflection, no? Section. Or kung wala man dito sa ato ang supporting MOV na identify, you are going to provide annotation for that. Okay? So, since nanata sa ato ang phase 2 of RPMS cycle, performance monitoring and coaching. RPMS mid-year review ang ato ang kailangan. So, two very important components of phase 2, performance monitoring and coaching. One is performance tracking. The second is coaching and feedback. Sa performance tracking, you are going to, maglist lang ka sa imuhang mga nakay RPMS media review. Kumbaga, i-list lang nimo from objectives 1 to 12. Okay? With KRAs, K results areas. Okay. So, pilang imo, for example, objective 1. Pila imo hang physical target. For example, sa objective 1, akay atong COT. So, up to this time, isa pa lang ang imong COT. So, ang ato ang targeted COT is 2. So, ang imuhang physical accomplishment is only 1. So, number of or percent of accomplishment is 50%, no? Kay duha lang man atong kailangan ani. Then what hinders, ang imuhang last column is hindering factor. So unsa kay nakahinder nganong isa pa lang ang ato ang kung naaman isa pa lang ang ato ang CT. So try to give your remarks. Okay? Any 432 of the accepted supporting MOV under efficiency means the same kind of MOV can be submitted more than once. Example, submitted MOVs could be duha ka reflection or LAC sessions with proof of attendance and another 2 reflections or reflection or personal notes on coaching and mentoring to merit an outstanding and efficiency under this objective. Okay? So main MOV, support IPCRF, development plan, plus the supporting MOV, duha ka MOV1, isa ka MOV2, and isa ka MOV3. So, RPMS 5-point skill rating for quality is 5. Why 5? Updated the development plan and approved by the rater during phase 2 of the RPMS cycle. Okay, so that's all. And then, efficiency. RPMS 5-point skill rating is 5. Why 5? Submitted IPSR DP with any 4 of the acceptable supporting MOV. Okay? So this is our example of the development plan. Okay, next slide, please. Objective 12. Perform various related works, activities that contribute to the teaching learning process. Okay. This objective is under KRA 5, the plus factor. We want to put credit doon sa mga ginagawa ni teacher. Naa pa ba tay plus factor karon? Naa pa. So we want to put credit doon sa mga ginagawa ni teacher outside or beyond the expectation of being a teacher. So ang DepEd are promoting teachers who do extra miles. Kaya naatay mga plus factor. Okay. Number of MOVs, 4. Okay. Any 4 of the acceptable MOV. Proof of committee involvement, advisorship, or co-curricular activities. Involvement as module learning material writing. Involvement as module learning material validator. Another, participation in the RO or SDO, school-initiated TV radio-based instruction. Book or journal authorship or contributorship. Another, coordinatorship or chairpersonship. Another one is coaching and mentoring learners in competition. Another, mentoring pre-service teacher. Participation and demonstration teaching, and participation as research presenter in forum conference. So any other things that can you do, extra miles, just provide annotation. Okay? So means of verification, 2 MOV1, 1 for MOV2, and 1 for MOV3. So RFMS 5-point scale rating of 5 for quality. So perform at least one related work activity that contributed to the teaching learning process beyond the school community learning. Okay? So ning gawas ka sa imong school, ito nimo ang imo ang learning process beyond the school community learning center. So RPMS 5-point scale rating for quality is 5. For efficiency, you submitted any 4 of the acceptable MOV. So that is 5. Next slide. So as a recap, there are 7 classroom observable objectives per proficiency teacher. Teachers 1 to 3. These are objectives 1, 5, and 7 required means of verification from a classroom observation. Take note that only 2 observations are required for the entire school year. Objectives 2, 3, and 4 require supplementary materials as MOV, and that objective 6 requires evidence that show feedback to learners and has quality and timeliness. Take note that only 2 MOVs that shows evidences or evidence of each objective are required for the entire school year. Now, there are 4 non-classroom objectives for proficiency for proficient teacher. Performance indicators are identified for quality and objective 8. Quality and efficiency and objectives 9, 10, and 11. And plus factor is objective 12. Now, we know that we are all really making an effort to deliver quality education despite COVID-19 pandemic. So, kaya natin to, teachers. Go, go, go lang tayo, teachers. Hashtag para sa bata, para sa bayan. So that ends my presentation. Thank you and keep safe, everyone. Once again, good morning.
Thank you very much, Ma'am Gina Mekiabas, the school head of Optasiano Hilay National High School. Thank you, ma'am, for an enlightening presentation on the necessary indicators and points to consider on how teachers must be evaluated, particularly those teachers, teacher 1 to teacher 3. Thank you so much. Before I introduce to you our second speaker for this morning session, let us have first our shout out. By the way, let me remind that our attendance link will be displayed on our screen shortly. So stay put lang po tayo. We have a shout out from John Rel Palmera. Happy learning and a productive morning. Watching from Atina Biao National High School, with our school head, Sir Armando Travero. Mabuhay ang Cluster 6. Thank you so much for watching and for staying with us. We also have from AJ Monta. Good morning, everyone, watching from Bartolome Integrated School. Good morning. Again, our attendance link will be displayed shortly, so stay put. We can be seen through our live streaming on our YouTube link. Good morning from Desme Calayon, watching from Carmen Integrated School. Good morning, sir. We also have from Maria Lucille Mejias. Hello, Ma'am Hazel. Hello, Ma'am Maria Lucille. Happy learning to all teachers watching from Mintao Comprehensive High School. Good morning and thank you for listening and watching. We have from Krishna Ira Luna. Good morning, everyone, watching from New Valencia Integrated School. Thank you very much. And we have from Sir Elmer Suarez. Shout out for Tagakpan National High School, watching this Inset Cluster 6. Thank you very much for watching and for staying with us. And now, help me welcome to talk and discuss about the calibration of performance for master teachers. We have on screen the school head of Datu Ambis Gerald Integrated School, none other than Mr. Marlon Paul G. Sampayan. Good morning, sir.
Morning, everyone. Happy morning. Thank you, Hazel. So my topic is all about the calibration of performance for master teachers 1 to 4. Slide, please. Ayan po si Ma'am Leia. Okay, so calibration of performance for master teachers 1 to 4. Ladies and gentlemen, I am Sir Marlon Paul G. Sampayan, your resource speaker from Dato Ambis Jaro Integrated School. So before anything else, I would like to introduce myself for those who do not know me. I am Sir Marlon Paul G. Sampayan. I graduate of my high school years at Davao City Special National High School in the year 1995. Graduated I finished my degree at the Ateneo de Davao University, BSBA, major in marketing, and BS Ed, major in social studies in the year 2000. And I got my diploma in Master of Education, major in exceptional children at USEP. And then I had also my ECE, early childhood education, when I went to Australia in Australian Institute of Commerce and Language. Master's in education, major in educational management in RMC, and my PhD is now ongoing. My work experience is I was connected with Davao City Special School year 2003 to 2019, di ko na siya makita. Master Teacher 2, I am the grade head of Intellectual Disability Department. And now I am the school head of Dato Ambis Jarog Integrated School. I had also my award in Most Outstanding Teacher Handling Children with Autism in Manila Central Office. And I'm assigned Licensed Sign Language Interpreter by PRID. So we're talking about a cluster-wide, no, kanang tawag nito, parang webinar or any form, no, about special education. I'll be teaching sign language. Next slide, please. Mukha ni Ma'am Leia. Uy, hawa di Ma'am Leia, B. So, I just want to share to you kanang glimpse of my school, no? Ayan po ang aming school before. Pasundayag lang ako kadali ha. Kay burag na exhaust mo ganina sa kuan sa teacher 1 2 3 task kaayo pod, no, pero it's a part of our job. So mo ni among eskwelahan. Next glimpse lang po, mo ni siyang among eskwelahan. And now next please. Okay, so our school is serving IP learners. Ito na po yung school namin sa Dato Ambis Jarog Integrated School. And of course, next please. Ayan po, nanalo po kami ng 2020 Brigada Eskwela implementing school, best implementing school for small school category, regional level. And just recently, next please, recently we won the most improved school as mentioned by Dr. Janito Ogalan. So small schools, elementary category, and Division Davao City Awards. Okay, last December 2020. December 29, 2021. Okay, now let's move on to our topic, the clarifying the RPMS cycle with adjusted timeline for 2020 to 2021. Ayan, wala pa po tayong bagong revised no na RPMS. We still be using last year's RPMS, no? The Deped Order 11 series of 2020. Next, please. So there are four phases of our RPMS cycle. No, the first one is the planning and commitment. The second is the monitoring and coaching, and then part 3 or phase 3 is the review and evaluation, and phase 4 is the rewarding and development planning. Next, please. So I'll be talking to you the first phase, no, planning and commitment, the discussion, issuance of RPMS tools, self-assessment. Ito yung mga forms na ibibigay natin. Actually, the master teachers, the primary role of the master teachers is to give technical assistance to our teachers. Teachers 1 to 3, no? Yung ating mga proficient teachers. Yun naman talaga ang ating role para tayong school head. Second tayo ng school head na we will be giving technical assistance, what are the remarkable performances of our teachers in or outside the school, no? So sa phase 1, ito po yun, no, yung signed IPCRF form natin, SAT, which is the self-assessment tool, IPCRF development plans. Next, please. And then our second, okay. So part of the phase 1 is the sample of development plans. Ayan po, kung ano po dapat nating gawin, no? So it would be, meron tayong timeline, no? Anong strengths natin? Saan ba natin kukunin yung mga indicators na ito? So doon natin kukunin sa RPMS PPST, sa Philippine Professional Standards for Teachers, no? Doon natin kukunin. So ayan, nandyan ang functional comparisons, no? Ayan, nandyan sa column ang development needs, and then the next column would be the action plan, no? At to ang unsa atong dapat buhaton, no? What are the things that the teacher 1 to 3 should do? And then the timeline. It's a whole year round actually ang ating timeline. And then resources needed, learning and development team, supervisors, school heads, master teachers, local funds. So ito yung sa mga local funds, ito yung gagawin ng mga training ng teachers, no? Training, webinars, or any platforms, no? Okay, next. Okay, and then same pa rin yung ating core behavioral competencies para sa ating development plans. Actually, itong part ng phase 1 ay nasa part 4 ng ating IPCRF. Next, please. And then our phase 2 would be the performance and coaching. So ang ating activity ay performance monitoring and coaching, mid-year review and assessment. So yung rater and ratee, no, magto-talk sila. May, di ba usually sa ating classroom observation, meron tayong pre-conference and post-conference. So ang rater ay magbibigay ng comments sa kanyang mga mentees or kanyang mga ratees. Okay, next please. Ayan, what are the forms needed? RPMS tools, IPCRF, SAT, IPCRF DP, using PMCF. What is PMCF? The Performance Monitoring and Coaching form. And then the mid-year review form. Next, please. So, ang ating output agreements based on PMCF, MRF, updated at PCRF, DP, and portfolio. Of course, meron talaga tayong portfolio, no? At the end of our school year, no? Isasubmit ng ratee sa kanyang rater. Nandun na lahat. So, before and with the final rating. Next, please. Ayan yung sample ng ating performance monitoring coaching form. So, dito, itong PMCF ay magiging springboard ng ating mga master teachers. No? Kasi, one thing for sure, ang talagang main job ng ating mga master teachers ay to give technical assistance to our teachers. No? So, primarily, yun ang ginagawa nila. Whether it's favorable or unfavorable performances, you have to put there. No? Nakalagay nga dyan, critical sa second column, critical incidents description. So, whether it's favorable or remarkable, unfavorable performances, you have to put it there as a rater, no? Nakalagay dyan, critical incidents description, work tasks and schedules to achieve goals as evident, her checklists have to be prioritized. And nakalagay sa output column, submitted school forms, reports ahead of time. Pag nakalagay dyan, ilalagay nyo din dyan sa critical incidents description na parang nakalagay doon na, work on task but submitted late. So, ilagay doon sa output na submission of reports should be on time. So, what would be the impact on the job? Ganon. Serve as role model to colleagues if you submitted the reports on time. And it would be agreed by the rater and ratee. Kailangan signature talaga yung rater. Especially yung ratee. Ratee muna, and then talk kayo ng konti kung naintindihan ba niya yung mga ginagawa. So, it would be an agreement for the rater and ratee. So, yung sabi ko kanina na submitted late, or maybe there are some instances during the classroom observation, she doesn't or he doesn't prepared on time with her kanang instructional material. So ilalagay mo whether it's unfavorable or favorable na mga doings ng ating teachers. Actually, dapat din ilalagay din dito sa ating PMCF yung mga remarkable performances that is worth emulating, at that needs to be sustained, to be followed by the other teachers, no? So hindi naman lahat na ginagawa ng teachers ay hindi maganda or what. Most of the time, maganda talaga ang ginagawa ng teachers. So, ilalagay mo doon for the recommendation and evaluation. So, itatala mo sa PMCF yung mga magagandang bagay. Most of the time, meron ding most of the time magagandang bagay, pero meron ding mga teachers na syempre may problema sa bahay, may mga responses na hindi maganda, so ilalagay mo doon, but you have to put it in a proper manner, no? So wala namang hindi nadadaan sa magandang bagay. So you need to have an agreement between the teachers and you as the rater, no? I'm talking about the master teachers, ha. So kasi yun nga, ano ang primary concern or ano ang primary role ng ating mga master teachers? I guess dito sa Mintal or dito sa Cluster 6, we have, sabi nga ni Doc Jan Galan kanina, na parang less than 20 lang yung ating mga master teachers. So, yung mga rater natin ay head teachers and school heads. Me, in my practice in Davao City Special, when I was in Davao City Special School, I always give PMCF, no? Kasi doon nalalagay yung mga magagandang ginagawa, yung mga remarkable performances. At the same time, you have to recognize also the teachers na punctual or yung nagsuot ng magandang uniform or naka-uniform yung complete wearing of uniform. Ano pa ba? Yung sa ating watch, 'di ba? We advocate time consciousness and honesty. So yung mga ganong bagay lang. So itatala mo sa PMCF. This is very important tool, no? As master teacher that you can give to your proficient teachers. Ito yung talagang ginagawa. Kasi for me personally, personal comment, this is actually underrated tong PMCF. Hindi masyadong napapansin pero kailangan ito for the kanang proof ba, ito ang pruweba na you are giving technical assistance to your teachers. Ito yung PMCF. Hindi masyado to na tawag nito, napapansin. Pero the school head in cluster 6 are, given a chance to make a school heads monitoring form. So nilalagay din namin anong ginagawa namin from day to day, from day 1 to at the end of the month. So inilalagay namin. Just like what we are doing with PMCF. So a master teacher, a head teacher, or the school head should make a PMCF for our teachers. Oh my God, it's linog. Okay, let's... Linog ba? Wala na. Sorry for the interruption. Okay, next slide, please. Okay, so performance coaching and feedback are ongoing process. Okay, these are provided by the rater and shall be solved by the ratee to improve work performance and behavior. Yun yung sinasabi ko kanina na really, we have to put emphasis of the PMCF. Ito talaga nakakatulong kasi nag-gauge yung teacher, ay, meron pala akong maling ginawa. So, ilalagay mo doon. So, ilalagay mo doon para she will be reminded on her task on time. Next, please. Okay, mid-year review gives the chance to confer. Sorry for the, hindi ko na-edit. With the teachers for them to improve performance. It is only for performance, monitoring, and coaching. So the final rating of the teacher depends on the year-end evaluation. So it's still under with phase 2. Next, please. Okay, ito yung mid-year review form, no? Ang MRF. So nakalagay dyan ang mga suggested mid-year review form. Okay, nakalagay dyan objectives, timelines. Okay, next please. So still be agreed with the rater, ratee, and then approving authority. Okay, we are now in the phase 3, performance review and evaluation. So activity year-end review and assessment, evaluation of portfolio, and computation of final rating. That's why I am always telling na sa mga teachers na do not use or do not reuse the portfolio this year. Use another portfolio to gauge, no, ano ba ang progress within the year. So nag-escalate ba, nag-increase ba yung performance mo, pati yung rating mo sa inyong final rating ng IPCRF mo, no? From last year 2021 4.01 ka or 3.99 ba? Pagdating ng 2021 2022 naging 4 na. Ayan. So parang may progression ba, makikita mo. So sa portfolio, iba-iba naman ang laman ng portfolio every year. Hindi naman pwedeng i-recycle. So gawa ka ng another portfolio. Next, then the forms still RPMS tools, IPCRF, SAT, IPCRF DP, development plans yun using PMCF, then output signed portfolio, and IPCRF with computed final rating. Next please, the fourth phase would be the rewarding and development planning. So nakalagay doon sa part 4, no, yung development planning. Okay, next. Please. So, strengths are competencies which the ratee demonstrated consistency and the areas meet or exceed expectations. So, developmental needs Development needs are competencies which RATI rarely demonstrates and areas where the RATI has room for improvement and has not met the expectations. Okay, ito na yung part 4, no? Yung functional competencies and core behavioral competencies. So, alam niyo yan, no? Yung qualitative comments, observations, recommendations. Actually, wala na tayong recommendations doon sa ating IPCRF. Pero pag yung sa school muna, yung draft muna ng IPCRF, pwede tayong maglalagay ng mga comments. But yung sinasubmit na natin sa division or sa school, sa cluster, yung nakalagay na dyan, rate. Wala na yung mga recommendations. It would be between the rater and the ratee. What are the observable or what are the observations and qualitative comments? Okay, so matrix of ratee and ratee, rater, and approving authority in the RPMS. So ang ang teacher or head teacher, master teacher, ang rater, and observer are principals and school heads. And then, ang approving authority, superintendent, ASDS. Sa atin dito sa cluster 6 is Dr. Jinky Ferman. So, kung sa teacher, si principal, si school head, and superintendent. And then teacher, master teacher, head teacher, still, ang master teacher, kung under sa kanya ang mentee, siya din ang magre-rater. Siya din ang mag-signature. So, meron tayong ALS. So, master teacher, ganun pa rin. Then, principal school head dun sa approving authority. So, as ALS implementers, if you have here in cluster 6, chief of curriculum yung approving authority, and then rater ang education program specialist for us. Okay, next, yung ating appendix 2. So, please, next PPT please. Ipakita ko lang yung form. So, I'm encouraging all the master teachers, if you really work hard on it, so achieve the 5, no? So, ito po yung ating RPMS tool for master teachers from 1 to 4. Okay. So, CSC, nakalagay dyan ang ating position title, ang ating salary grade, no? Kung master teacher 4 kahit salary grade, 21. Tama ba ako? 21. Okay, next slide please. Yan, yung duties and responsibilities. I guess alam naman ng lahat ng master teachers, no? Yung mga duties and responsibilities ng being a master teachers. You give technical assistance to your mentees, to your ratees, no? To your teacher 1, 2, 3, kung sino naka-assign sa'yo. Okay, next. Part of it pala sa duties and responsibilities as a master teacher that you conduct LAC sessions, right? So that for the improvement of our teachers. Okay. And then the KRA1, kailangan pa ba ito? KRA1, so if you want to reach outstanding, no? So, yes, model level 8. Tama ba yan? Hindi ko masyadong klaro. Basta yun na. So, basta you have to reach, those, you have to submit all the necessary requirements, no, for you to get 5. So one thing for sure is that you need to have when you craft a summative test, formative test, there should be a signed by the parents, no? Kailangan may proof na nag-amend yung parents sa mga yung scores ng ating mga students. Okay, so let's go to the end na. Kay alam na ng mga master teachers ito. So, sandali. Dito. Sa last na lang. So, dito sa KRA number, yan. KR5, no? Dito sa perform various related works and activities that contribute the teaching learning process, no? Dito sa ating ano, when you want to reach the 5, no? What are the means of verification? So, proof, serve as all IC, represent the principal in meetings and conferences, observe teaching performance of teachers from 1 to 3. Yung sinasabi ko, no? Observe, no? You need to have a... So, what kind of, what kind of tools, no? You will be using during the classroom observation. So, aside from classroom observation tool, you need to have a PMCF. And you have to do it individually. Kaya para naman, in every, yung mga times na mag-observe ka sa particular teacher, individual lang yung PMCF. Individual lang yung performance monitoring and coaching form mo. Hindi na yung as a whole. For me this is just my suggestion that you will be using one paper for one particular teacher if you will be having a PMCF. Kasi pag ilalagay mo lahat ng teachers doon and then it will show to the particular teacher, makikita niya yung result ng ibang teacher kung ihahalo-halo mo. If you like for example, if you have a 5 teacher mentees under you, tapos ilalagay mo individually, nakahilera, nakatala doon lahat ng mga yung critical incident, yung mga outcome, yung mga what to do or parang mga remarks, makikita ng isang teacher yung performance ng isa. So whether it's a remarkable performance or unfavorable performance of a teacher, you shouldn't have to show to it because it's confidential. But pag ginawa mo yun, during the pre-conference and or post-conference, you have to cover na lang kung nakahilera yung sa PMCF. That's why it's part of the requirements of the in objective number 12, yung PMCF. Nakalagay ba dito? Or other pala sa other objectives, yung PMCF. So ako sa school namin, when I was in SPED Bangkal, nilalagay ko talaga yung PMCF sa one of the MOVs ko during my pero hindi it's either I will claim outstanding or VS or very satisfactory, nilalagay ko talaga yung PMCF. That is one, diba, as I've mentioned, one of the proofs that you are giving technical assistance. So in giving technical assistance to your teachers, you do LAC session, you do webinars or any platform. In this COVID-19 pandemic time sa atin, sa DepEd, you can do the online in giving technical assistance to our teachers. So one of which is being served as the coordinator, chairperson of a LAC session or any committee, no? So serve as coordinator, contribute in a book or journal, you participated in a write shop in the division or the regional level. And also, may I just say, to those who want to apply for master teachers, you can also do this, no? You can also be a master teacher. No? Ang teacher 3, ang ibang school, kung wala silang master teacher 3 yung nagme-mentor sa kanilang mga mentees kung inassign sila ng kanilang mga school head, no? So they can apply for master teacher. So these are the qualities, no? Or the requirements, no? So you participated in a TV or radio based instruction. So you can download this form naman. You can Google this also. Serve as module learning material validator, coach, and monitored, mentored pre-service and in-service teachers. So when I was in SPED, I also mentor yung mga practicumers namin from Holy Cross, yung mga SPED graduates, mga SPED undergrad from USEP and Holy Cross. I have also Holy Child of Davao College na mga SPED na mga major. So I also mentored it. No, I also have my giving technical assistance. I do also sign language tawag niya, tutorials, no, for basic sign language. So you can have also this kind of activities as a master teacher. If you This is for all the teacher 1 to 3, no, na who aspires to become a master teacher 1 to 4. Kasi ngayon nga, for me lang ha, very easy na ngayon ang master teacher kasi meron tayong reclassification. Kasi noon, nasa SPED ako, wala kaming rekla. Wala kaming rekla. I acquired, I got my MT1 position, wala kaming SPED item. So siguro na SPED item ako kasi I'm handling special children for 16 years, no, sa SPED Bangkal. So noon, iba kasi ang reclassification at saka yung natural vacancy. No, iba, madugo yung natural vacancy noon kasi I've got my master teacher 1 when I was 28, like that. 2008 yata yun. Master teacher 1. Actually, 14 years na ako as master teacher. So, iba yung qualifications noon sa natural vacancy na teacher. Na master teachers. Iba yung qualification. That's why, ngayon parang, makagraduate ka lang, you have just ka ng MA, grad ka ba, or may doctor ka na, pwede ka na mag-apply for Master Teacher 4 or Master Teacher 3. Kaya parang nanghinayang nga ako, sana nag-Master Teacher 3 na lang ako, no? Nagpabilin ko sa SPED. Pero, well, it's really a God's plan na magiging school head ako. So, 2019, I applied, I applied, but kanang hindi na swerte, pero eventually, nabigyan ako ng slot school na pinakita ko kanina na pagdating ko doon, saan ba ang school? Walang school. Pero, yung naga-drawback nga, yung sana sa SPED na lang ako, may classroom ako and everything. But with God's grace, I still continue to serve the IP learners in Dato Ambis Jarog Integrated School. So for those who want to aspire as master teacher, you can do it also. No, just follow the guidelines, just follow the MOVs. Kung teacher 1 to 3 ka pa, you can the job, no, of a master teacher. So if you tayong ng time. So, one thing for sure, ang ating master teachers na nakikinig, it's all about technical assistance. Yun lang naman talaga ang dapat natin gawin. It should be a role model to our teachers sa ating mga teacher 1 to 3 and also we need to use all the tools, no? Use all the tools, use all the forms, no? Lahat ng kailangan ng teachers i-give natin because medyo okay naman ang master teacher, no? Para ang master teacher 1 is equivalent to, or ang master teacher 2 is equivalent to principal 1 na salary. So we have to do our good kanang being a role model to our teachers. So meron pa ba? Meron pa ba So, wala tayong interaction, no? So, ito yung glossary. Nandyan ang mga meanings, no, ng ating mga acronyms, no? So, di na ko kaya mabasa, pero muna na siya. So, that's it for your references. Ayan, nakalagay dyan. So, thank you for this opportunity. That's all I can give for today. And also, if you want to invite me to your school as a ganing focal person for special education, ano nga kami ni Sir John Galanda, why not having a cluster-wide parang basic sign language tutorial lang. Yung mga basic lang. Pwede ako. You can invite me. That's all. Thank you so much. Have a good day, everyone.
Thank you very much, Mr. Marlon Paul G. Sampayan, a very dynamic school head of Dato Ambis Jarog Integrated School. Thank you, sir, for a very instructive clarification on RPMS cycle and for pointing out important insights that our master teachers must do in rating and mentoring their subordinates. Thank you very much. We still have two speakers online. Uh, I would like to remind everyone to please stay with us until the end of this morning session. For now, we will be, you can see on our screen the attendance link and at the same time the evaluation link. Again, I would like to remind everyone, please do not forget to do your online attendance, for this will be the basis for your certificate of participation. And also, tomorrow, on our second day of our inset, we will be awarding those teachers who got early in our online attendance. So we have on our screen right now the attendance link. Please do so in accessing our attendance link and our evaluation link. So for now, let us have our shout out for our teachers who are still with us as of this moment. We have from Ma'am Lailani Tan, by learning you will teach, and by teaching you will learn. Go Cluster 6, let us learn and teach together. Thank you so much, Ma'am Lani of Las Amigas National High School. We have from Ma'am Donesa Escarda, shout out to the Santo Niño National High School team. Thank you so much, Ma'am Donesa. We also have from Ruby May Damaliero, good morning, Cluster 6 teachers and admin, watching from Mintal Comprehensive High School Senior High Department. Good morning, ma'am. Thank you so much. We have another from Sir Armando Travero. Good morning, everyone, watching from Atina Biao National High School. Of course, their very own school head. Hi, Sir Arman. We have from Sir Ronald Basho. Good morning po, watching from Takuna National High School. Good morning, sir. Thank you so much for watching. We also have from Gladys Barcelona. Good morning from New Valencia Integrated School. Thank you so much for watching. And another one from Genevieve Gonzalo, watching from Ohilay National High School. We also have another one from Cheryl Garde. Good morning, everyone. Adja to Book National High School. All right, thank you very much. And now, allow me to introduce our third speaker for this morning session to talk about the calibration of performance for head teachers. Help me welcome the school head of Biao National High School, none other than Mr. Ariel F. Lorenzo.
Thank you kayo, Ma'am Hazel, for this short introduction. Murag di ko kadungog no, sa akong istorya. Nabaguhan. To our brilliant and energetic PSDS of Cluster 6, Dr. Junito Galan, to the principals and school heads of Cluster 6, to the participants, to the teachers, teacher 1 to 3, master teacher 1 to 2, especially mention the teachers from Biao National High School. Ladies and gentlemen, good morning. It is my honor to be your speaker this morning, no? Talking about the performance calibration of the head teacher. Pwede makuha ng slide, ma'am? Please, slide po. Okay. Hello. So, I will be talking about the calibration of performance for head teacher. Maklaro ba ko, Ma'am M? Ma'am Hazel? Ma'am Hazel?
Yes po, sir.
Okay. Murag mo iko magud akong istorya, no? Pasensya na. Okay, so I have not prepared long presentation about this topic because as I observe among the participants, no, we have 466 participants. I think only 5 of them are head teacher, no? So most are teacher 1 to 3 and master teacher 1 to 2. So if you're going to have the statistics for my solid listener, we have 5 divided by 466, so that's just only 1%, no? I don't know kung may ignite ba o interest ba yung mga master teacher, no? As well as a teacher one on my topic, because I will be talking about the calibration of performance for the head teacher.
Excuse me po, Sir Ariel.
Yes, ma'am.
Sir, parang may feedback po tayo. May I request po na paki-close po yung YouTube or Facebook po na link na naka-open para sa StreamYard lang po tayo maka-standby po.
Okay, ma'am.
Thank you po.
Okay, so to start with, let us have first a game. Next slide, please. Okay, so let's play. I know you're very familiar with this one, no? It's a fact or a bluff. Of course, when the statement is a fact, so that's true, or a bluff, so that is not true. Okay, so I just only prepared 3 questions for this. So may I have the next slide, please? Okay, question. Is this a fact or a bluff? The IPCRA, KRAs, and objectives of teachers and master teacher are based from the Philippine Professional Standard for Teachers, or what we call the PPST. Is it a fact or a bluff? Next slide, please. Okay, what's your answer? Next slide, please. Okay, that's a fact. Okay, it was mentioned by Sir Marlon, no, na the teacher 1, 2, 3, and the master teacher, we have what we call the KRA, and the objectives were based from the PPST. So what is our basis? So please, next slide, please. So our basis, you have the DepEd Order 42, series of 2017, or that is the National Adoption and Implementation of the Philippine Professional Standard for Teachers. Okay? So, nakita natin na talaga, no, guided talaga yung IPCRF, KRAs, and objectives of teachers. So, meron na tayong mga MOBs. So, standard na talaga, no? So, wala nang gagawin yung mga teachers natin, kundi tutukan lang doon yung mga MOBs natin. So, napakadali. So, let us have question number 2. Okay, it's a fact or a bluff? The OPCRF, KRAs, and objectives of school head are encouraged to refer to Philippine Professional Standard for School Heads, or the PPSH. So, is that a fact or a bluff? So, next slide, please. Okay, what's your answer? Next slide, please. Okay, it's a fact, no? That's a fact. So, what is our basis? Okay, our basis is DepEd Order 24, series of 2020, or the National Adoption and Implementation of the Philippine Professional Standard for School Heads. So, ngayon, school head na naman tayo. So, standardized na naman ang kanilang OPCRF. Okay? So, based na naman doon sa Philippine Professional Standard for School Heads. So, sa teacher natin, we have the PPST. How about for the head teacher, no? So, next slide, please. Okay, this is my last question. Is it a fact or a bluff? No? The IPCRF, KRAs, and objectives of head teacher are based from the Philippine Professional Standard for HTs, no? Or the PPSHT. Tama ba ito? Is this true? Answer? Okay, it's a bluff, no? So, what is our reason, no? Next slide, please. So, we do not have DepEd order or memo to support the statement above, nor we do not have what we call the Philippine Professional Standard for Teachers. So, gano'n, no? Parang gawa-gawa ko lang, no? Baka may nag-answer talaga ng fact, no? So, hindi yan. That's bluff. So, sa ngayon, wala pa tayong Philippines professional standard for head teachers, no? Perhaps if you're going to count from the PPST, so we have 3 years in the making. Uh, PPST was made during 2017, no? Then 2020, we have the PPSH. So baka 3 years after 2020, so siguro mga 2023. So meron tayong ito na, no? PPSHT sana, no? Okay, so let us have the next slide, please. Okay. So when we talk about the performance, the calibration of performance of head teacher, no? So meron tayong dalawa, no? The first one, so it's conducted during the phase 1 of the RPMS cycle. Next, please. So ano yung basis natin dito? So the basis is the Annex D, number 2 of DM PHROD 2021, no? Dash 001 on the guidelines on the implementation of the RPMS for school year 2020-2021. So siguro, as what we heard from Sir Marlon, sorry, no? Eh, sinasabi niya na still we are using this one, no? The COT platform, the lab session, the online, as well as the video lessons were also used, no, as platform for COT. The same thing with the calibrated IPCRF of T3 to T1 to T3, as well as MT1 to MT2, no? Wala tayong MT3 and 4 sa cluster 6, only MT2. And I'm very proud na ang MT2 natin nasa Biao National High School. Grabe. Okay, so next slide, please. Now, in the development of the individual IPCRF form of school-based non-teaching personnel. So dito na yung papasok yung HT natin, no? So take note, hindi standardized yung IPCRF natin. So ano pala yung basis of crafting our IPCRF? So we have this one, no? When we talk about the school-based non-teaching personnel, dito papasok yung HT natin, kasama yung guidance counselor natin, yung registrar natin, yung mga ADAS natin, pati yung mga nurses natin, no, in school. Okay? So ano yung mandate dito? So the personnel is directed to craft the KRAs and objectives that are aligned to the school official form. Okay. So during the first phase 1 of the RPMS cycle, which is the performance planning and commitment. So ito yung inaatasan dito, no, na yung mga non-teaching personnel natin, the school-based non-teaching personnel, to drop their KRAs and objectives. So of course, that will be aligned to the school OPCRF form. Then of course, this will be presented to the school head, so they will be having a dialogue, so in which the KRA and the objective shall be agreed upon by the rater and the ratee. So kailangan mag-agree sila, no, kung may mga changes ba. Then of course, with regards to the MOBs, so they will also agree what will be the particular MOBs that they are going to show with the KRA, with the specific KRA and objectives. So having the phase 1, the calibration of the performance of school head teacher, we're focusing on the tool. So revising the tool, whether our present IPCRF is still applicable during this time of pandemic. Okay? So dito sa phase 1 na ito, ang concentration natin on the calibration of performance is on the tool that we use in our IPCRF. Okay, next slide, please. Next slide, please. Okay. Ay, nasunod-sunod. Okay, so the second phase, we have phase 2. So ito na yung calibration na papasok dito, no? So, conducted during the phase 2 of RPMS cycle. Okay? So, ano yung phase 2 natin? Uli, no? So, that is monitoring and coaching. So, ano yung basis dito? So, I selected the very old one, the start of Mpre natin, no? That is, the basis is DepEd Order 36, series of 1997, no? Or the mid-year program review and evaluation. So, specifically, next slide, please. So, we are on the objective 2.2 to review, no, according to this DepEd Order 36, series of 1997, objective 2.2, we are going to review the performance of teachers and the school, then also staff, with a view of addressing concerns through cooperative effort. So this time, we have the phase 2. What we are going to evaluate, hindi na yung tool natin. So, ano yung i-evaluate natin dito? The MOBs that we have collected from the first semester, no? Of course, I believe that you have meron kayong nakolekta na little by little, no? Meron na kayong portfolio, then every collections that you have, i-insert nyo doon sa portfolio ninyo, no? Okay, so for the MOBs, possible MOBs for this head teacher, we have the SBM, no? Recently, we have the current validation from the division office. So that will be used as part of your MOB. Then of course, along with that, the preparation of the validation from the division office, of course, the school conducted a lot of series of meetings, presentations that will be also used, no, as your MOB. Then of course, we have also another MOB to be used. We have the SIP and EIP, no? So this 2022 is the making of another SIP and AIP. So probably siguro started na January, no? This month of January. So the meetings, what you call this one, the procedure of the conduct of the SIP and EIP could be also your MOBs, no? A good MOBs for the HT. And of course, so we are now in January. So from October, November, December, January, we have now 4 months. So with that 4 months, you have already conducted classroom monitoring, no? As well as COT, observe the COT of teachers. So that will be also part of our MOB. Then, natapos na yung first quarter exam natin. So it could be some of you have crafted what we call this one, exam with TOS, localized summative test with TOS. So that will be also a good MOB. Then of course, within our department, within your subject, kasi itong mental comprehensive high school, dito lang yung po galing yung mga HT natin for now, no? So I don't know kung meron pa bang schools are applying through reclassification ng division natin for HT, no? Pero as I have known, only at present, no, only mental comprehensive high school has HTs, 5 sila, no? So of course, sa mental comprehensive high school, departmentalized na yan, no? So the materials given from the supply to the teachers, so if we monitor that one, meron tayong logbook, monitoring form of that, so that would be also a good MOB. Then of course, for this January, siguro some of you have already acquired learning resources, no, from our stakeholders. So that's another MOB. Then of course, when I left Mental Comprehensive High School, meron na doon nag-initiate ng training, no? Yung Mpre, the cascade, the training that we have learned from assessment, no? So, kakandak na sila ng re-echo, no? The same thing with other departments. So, siguro, other department will follow, so that will be a good MOBs, no? Then of course, we have also the coaching and mentoring form. So as what Sir Marlon stated, so this is also a very important MOB that we're going to collect for our performance. No? Then I believe you have attended many seminars. So marami ng seminars, no? So the seminars are also an MOB, no, for our performance. Then of course, the one of our tasks also is to consolidate the DTRs of our teachers under our department. So we have now the October, November, December. So we have now 3 consolidations, and that will be also a good MOB, no? So next slide, please. Okay, let us have a real talk on the gathered MOBs. Among the MOBs that I have mentioned, no, from the 6 KRAs, excluding the plus factor and 15 objectives. So, hindi ko na lang isa-isahin yung mga KRA at saka objectives, no? Kasi later on, kung dadami na yung HT natin, so by school kasi yung crafting of KRAs and objectives. No, it depends upon the alignment to the school of PCRF. So magkakaiba-iba na tayo dito ng KRA at saka mga objectives. So mahirap, no? So what I'm going to present dito, no, among the 6 KRAs and the 15 objectives that we have. So from the MOBs that I have mentioned, tanungin ko lang kayo, no, mga HT, itong mga 5 HT natin. So how many MOBs already kept in your portfolio? No? Meron na ba talaga? No, kung wala pa, now, dapat meron na, no? Kasi end up po ng first semester. So ito yung i-rate natin, no? So these MOBs, you are going to encode this one in the IPCRF form. Encode natin. Then kasi generated yung result kasi naka-Excel yun. Then titingnan natin, i-evaluate natin yung score natin. Ano ba yung score natin? After we included our MOBs, yung mga na-gather natin na MOBs, we encode in our IPCRF form. So, ano kaya yung result? Okay? Next slide, please. Okay. So, if you are going to self-rate the MOBs at your position, nasa portfolio ninyo, i-rate natin ito. What is your rating? Okay, next slide, please. Okay. Of course, I would like to congratulate those of you who have a rating of 3.5 and above, no? First semester pa lang. Pero na-hit na talaga yung BS. So, 3.5 and above. So, congratulations, no? Kung if your rating is 3.5 and above, kasi ito yung minimal requirement natin being a public servant to have a BS in our performance. So, but then, for those of you, no, the 5 of you, whose rating is below 3.5, so don't you worry, no? Meron pa tayong another semester to gather the MOBs. So, dapat masinop lang tayo in gathering the MOBs. So, hindi po pwede yung we only gathered MOBs at the end during this phase 3, no? So, dapat as of now, so we start gathering our MOBs. Okay? So, for those of you who got a rate of 3.5 and above, congratulations. Well, perfect kayo. Gamay na lang ang buhato nato, no? Gamay na lang atong paabuton ng mga MOBs para mabot ta either dito sa outstanding, no? Diha sa Mental Comprehensive High School, ang mga HT diha, the 2 HT, Ma'am Gulay and Ma'am Doc Bednar, they're all outstanding, no? So siguro, coming with these 3, sa Bihito and Ma'am Rivera and Ma'am Bacalso, siguro they will be also outstanding, no? So, maayo kaayo. So that will be our goal. Okay, that is your goal. Dito sa ano natin, no? What we call this one? Calibration natin. So, we are going to try to hit the outstanding. Mas maayo ng taas ta og target, para kung mababa lang ta dito ta sa BS. Kung mo target lang ta BS, Then masipiyat ta basig nasa ta sa S, no? Consecutive S, pwede ta ma-reprimand, no? Katulo, pwede ta matanggal sa trabaho. Okay? So, we're not going to talk long. Ito na rin, this the end of my presentation, no? Kasi sayang naman, baka meron dyan hindi talaga nakikinig kasi di nila ano yung HT, no? So, baka sabihin nila, malayo pa, no? I'm teacher 1, teacher 2, teacher 3, malayo pa ako maging HT. So, but then, with the reclassification sa division natin, it's not possible na nga marami tayong maproduce na HT. Okay? So, next slide, please. Next slide. Okay, so we have here from William Shakespeare, better 3 hours too soon than a minute too late. So, in gathering our MOBs, mas maganda kung maaga tayo, no? Nakapagsimula. Maaga tayong makapagtago ng mga MOBs na kailangan natin during the phase 3 of the cycle. So, mas maganda yon kaysa doon na tayo mismo sa phase 3 na to gather na yung mga MOBs natin. So, I hope you learned something from my talk. So, that's all, and thank you. Next slide, please. Okay, thank you. Ma'am Hazel, manas ko.
Thank you very much, Sir Ariel Lorenzo. That was Sir Ariel, the school head of Biao National High School. Thank you so much, sir, for that very interactive and insightful presentation for this morning and for that interesting talk, of course. Let me remind, thank you very much to our 434 viewers for today's session. I would like to remind everyone that you have to access our attendance link for after our live streaming. You can no longer access it for we will close it already. Okay. Again, please do not forget to access our attendance link, for we will be closing that one right after our live streaming. And the evaluation link will be closed at exactly 4 o'clock this afternoon. We will be reading shout out for this time. We have from Ma'am Christina Florida. Good morning, everyone watching from Tacuna National High School. Hello, Ma'am Tina. Good morning po. We have from Sir Paulo Panjo Cortez. Ang galing-galing ng Cluster 6. Wow, thank you so much, sir. We have from Ma'am Bridget Rusha. Good morning, watching from Balderas Integrated School. Hello, Ma'am Bridget. We also have from Ma'am Joanne Tonzo. Good morning, everyone, from Carmen Integrated School. Hello po, good morning. Thank you so much for staying with us and for watching our live streaming for today. We have from Genevieve Gonzalo, ma'am, watching from Ohilay National High School. Thank you very much. We have another shout out from Maria Caroline Antipala. A happy Monday morning to all. May God bless and guide us all. From Emilio J. Estepona High School. Hi, ma'am. God bless you po. Thank you so much. Once again, I would like to remind everyone to please access our attendance through our link, which is shown in our screen below. The attendance link will be closed right after the end of our live streaming. Thank you so much for staying with us. And now, to introduce our last but not the least speaker for this morning session, let us have to discuss the calibration of performance for principals. Help me welcome the Principal 2 of Mintal Comprehensive High School, none other than Dr. Leia M. Camilotes. Nakamute po kayo, Ma'am Leia.
Anak mo. Okay na? Can you hear me now? Yeah.
Yes po, Ma'am Leia.
Yeah, good morning, everyone. Today, we have a good visit, no? We are reminded we are actually having a slight lang ba yun? It's a shaking. It remind us that, wow, we are still on earth, having all the colds, the runny nose, and then the cough. as well as the fever. But today we are so happy because we are having our virtual inset, of which most of you teachers, I just hope that you will still be listening, teachers, because we will be discussing some of the salient points, as well as the school heads will revisit our task as well. So you might as well listen very carefully so that we could have at least a good rapport during our the way we rate you, the way we do our task, and you can also give us some, maybe a sort of reminder, or rather a counterpart of what you are going to do with what are we supposed to do. So good morning. My courtesy and respect to our PSDS, Dr. Junito O. Galan, who's also having his mancom, so that equally important task to attend to, and to all the school heads of the Cluster-6. We have 19 schools. So it's just like that. And to all of you, their teachers, I hope you are also listening. So since we are going to revisit, I would like first to show you the things that we are supposed to do. That would be on the end of the quarter of the school year for the principals. However, because of the inset, we are now reminded to really revisit and try to look as all our tasks if we are doing well, so that we will not make it in a one setting, OPCRF. So this is really a high time for us to really try to look back, evaluate, assess what are our performance, where are we heading, and are we doing okay? Or are we on our right track? So, siguro kung kumustahon si principal, kumusta man ka, sir, sa imuhang performance? Kung maingon si principal, okay ra. Sunod na po di mong pangutana, how are you, sir? How are you, ma'am? Okay ra. Sumura ra po ta Ginoo daw ana, no? The same yesterday, today, and forever. So dili man ta Ginoo, we will not say okay ra sa parminti. We will say we are doing better each day. So for all of us school principal, let me show you our last year's OPCRF. So I have here my screen. Yeah. So I cannot give any sample. Have you seen me now on screen? Yeah. The sample, ma'am. Okay, in a while. The OPCRF is not reflected. Yeah, now it's reflected. Pardon me if the sample will be mine. It is because I don't have the copyright of your OPCRF, my dear colleagues. So this is it. When we say revisit, we didn't mean that we are just simply doing it one by one, but I would just like each one to be reminded really of where are we heading to. So still we don't have NAT, right? So since we don't have NAT, we will prepare for the PISA. Oh my God. A call alert to book in Takunan and Mintal Comprehensive High School. This is really a very good subject matter for the three schools for these afternoons, right? What is this PISA all about? How are we going to prepare our children since we don't have NAT? So for those schools who are not included, please do really pray for us. For the last PISA, the Philippines is at the top bottom. So this time, it's good that we are at the bottom because we really have to go up. kasi wala namang pababa, di ba? So, though it give us also some thrill, however, we really have to elevate. So, kung basta mahawd ta. So, no not. Okay, next, Sir Gemmer. I am actually being helped here by our ITs. So, 1.1.2 has promoted 95% of students enrolled. Kumusta po ang ating GSA? No? So, this time, kasi medyo malaki-laki na rin yung mga GSAs natin. So, we have already filled out the GSA 1. Kumusta na? The teachers really asked, Ma'am, naundang man to, wala man mi siya isolve niya, nanapoy inset. All the while, pagkahuman ani, mangayo man dayon o grado ang division. So how are we going to do it? So we will just say to our teachers that, saan man na to pagsulti, the students' performances are already there. So, paunti-unti, no? I-fill out nila paunti-unti. If the students can really forward, dili po nato sila balibaran, but those timeliness, sigig papasahon. When we say it's break, it's break. When we will say, suspend muna, suspend muna. But, kaya lang, pag pinatrabaho na si teacher, tayo mga school heads, pag hiningi na, dili na po ta pwede masigig balibad, no? Pag, ana man, it's really the call. And this is how we do it now. So, ana lang, dili lang ta mag-strong. So, with it, take note that the promotion, si drop out, karon pa lang daan, no? We know the sardos. Pwede na nato siya makita. The GSA actually will tell us asa ba mi padulong, mahurot ba ni ka-promote o maunsa ba jud ni siya, because that is for 1.1.2. So, last year 100 promotion, 0% dropout rate. We were thinking better ang PBB. But this time, it's 50%. Di lang guta mag-strong. Good is already good. Right? We really don't know what are the basis, but we have our top leaders at the top who are really looking into it. Sige lang. 65, 57.5, and then the 50. But what is really makes it exciting is the accounting is actually doing now. So, PBB is knocking at our doors. So, in 1.2, we have performed instructional supervision. Here, I have to achieve learning outcomes, conducted 10 class observations every month. Is it possible with our present time? It is. Why? Because our teachers are really doing their best. They still have their contacts with our learners. Actually, some have online classes, but they name it as a consultative meeting for the students. But there are really students who are really willing to have that online class. The teacher as well, they can make an agreement. So, whatever the things that our teachers are doing for our learners, if we can document it, so that 10 class observation every month, for how many sections do we have? So, it is really possible. So, mag-observe po ta, di ba no? Mag-observe, Jod. Because when the teacher realizes na dili gud ginabantayan, properly monitored, magkugi jud na sila. No? Because mo man na ilang gusto. Kaya lang minsan di na po sila ganahan kay murag wala ra man gud pod sa uban. But for those that kanang they are aware that the principal actually is monitoring, ganahan kay na sila. Sige, next. We have the learning environment. My congratulations and my salute to all our school heads of the clusters with the leadership of our PSDS who have these accolades of outstanding and best schools. Kami, best ra gud pod me, but our best is not that for the division-wide need pa no og more. So, we have to. Now, on the learning environment, is there really a need for the school to prepare the classrooms? Wala may mga bata, wala may tao. Now, we are always reminded, dear principals, just like what we have experienced, na magtanaw jud si SDS, no? And then magsigi jud samok si PSDS to remind us, limpyuhan ang CR, ang classroom still be a classroom structure. So structure man siya, ibutang jud siya, and that really inspires me as well when the teachers kay na may contest, di ba? We have our certificates of recognition for them. So because they have that, imagine a classroom, naa pa jud sa fourth floor, and then another on the next building, ilahang gipagwapo. I was so amazed. Kulang lang jud sila og inspiration. But this time, they know that, ay, ingon ana di ay. So I'm just amazed na, wow, pwede ra jud kay moon sa atong teachers. So it's really a kana ganing a reminder no na ang sagbot mutubo jud na ang sagbot. Dulay tay mahimo ana. Pero katubang atong buildings, may man ka ma'am kay naaman mo utility, may man ka ma'am kay mga teachers nimo makita ra gamay ra imong area, dili dako. It's not dili man siguro dako gamay, di ba no? The OPCRF that we have, the ratings, wala man nag-ingon dire if gamay imong eskwelahan, imong learning environment, maulang ni. Dili man, dako imong eskwelahan, maura ni. Now look at it, the accomplishments, the evidences, bisag magamay, madako atong eskwelahan, isa pareho ra jud ta. So the DepEd flagship programs, the GAD, the CPP, the DRRM, the ICT, the GPP, the CPP, it includes both small and large or mega category of the schools. So paalaala na naman sa atin, kumusta ang ating learning environment? Si Sir SDS, Sabado siya or Domingo or holiday nagabisita. Nasakpan gani among likod nga daghan kay bangko, no? So abi na kog limpyo na kaayo mi sa tubangan, lain pud siya, moadto pud siya didto sa dili jud makita. So ang CR, bisag walay bata, gusto jud niya na limpyo jud. Teachers as well, ayaw pud isalig kay principal. Kana bang this is our home. Malipay kaayo pud kami nga mga principals when the teachers really are doing without any instructions or kana bang orders. No, kanang you also take the school as your home, as your class home. So ayaw lang puti imong class lang jud. When we say home, apil man ito atong silingan nga tugkaran no, ginasilhigan man gani nato. It's just like in our schools. So ayaw na kay pasugo. Kana bang dili na pud unta maglisod si principal nga napulan man ni akong mga teachers oy. So try also to be a good partner of our school head. No, kay good for those schools na nakasanayan na. But for those na dili kaayo, maybe this is now the high time. Maulaw man pud ta magsigitag dawat og PBB. Nya wala pud tay gitabang sa eskwelahan, di ba? Mura ba og lain pod. So let's try to make like the Santo Niño. Imagine they are waiting for the leaves to drop, the falling leaves para clean. hulaton jud nila kay naa sila'y silhigan. Mga katawanan na siya, but kung ikaw school head nga makadungog ana, makaigag sana all. Di ba no? Dili naman sila siguro ginasugo kay di man puding anak kayaw-yawan si Ma'am Heidi, I'm sure. But the teachers, they are actually doing it without any instructions. That is for our learning environment. So si school head karon pa lang, document it para dili ta magsalig ba magkabuang, di ba no? And then the human resource management. Kumusta po? How many students, how many teachers, I mean, are being given technical assistance? Sir Galan is so cunning. Tama ba, sir, no? Na pangayuan tag attachment sa atong DTR on the technical assistance. Na naman ko'y ay war nga nung naapad jud siya technical assistance. But as I look at it, makatabang siya. Why? Because we know really naghatag ba kog technical assistance sa teacher. Basig wala pod. Mo nang dili pod siya kabalo sa iyang trabaho because we also wala rin. Wala man gud ko gi-technical assistance ni sir, dili pug ko kay cascading man ni, di ba? O sige buhat sa taas ana. But in a nutshell, kabalo man jud ta, di ba no? So we are also given technical assistance. The announcement in itself, the instructions, those are already assistance given to us. Alangan na magkita pa ang mamili. That's one form of it. Giving of inspirations, recognitions, that would somehow give us the assurance na magingon ana po di ay ko. That's already an assistance. But for our teachers, kumusta po? How are we encourage them? At the end of the rating period, the school head has provided technical assistance to 5 teachers on matters pertaining to enhancement of classroom management every quarter. So, unsaon nimo paghatag karon na wala may nag-usab. The pandemic still there, but the way we do things in school, it's still very the same. Di ba no? The classroom, we are instructed, you have to structure it. So teacher, ayaw ka kapoy. Ayaw ka luya. The school lives on. How? That is how we are doing it. So kung papatay-patay, tamamatay yun po na eskwelahan. But if we are so accelerated, we are so passionate and still committed to do it, si school head, makita po na niya. So kung nakita na niya na, need pa ni teacher ana. So school heads, kay mauman niya ang atua, the teacher needs our technical assistance. No? Dili siguro, so we are really at advanced info from our teachers. So kung si teacher mangminaw sa uban unya nakaihatag unya di man ni mao, so you really have to see to it na kasabot pud ta sa ato ang ginahimo. Yeah. The technical assistance, sige je. Okay na to, ako na siyang nasulti. Let's move on now with here, kaning RPMS. Okay. Monitor teachers' compliance with the RPMS cycle. Kaya ito no, ginawa natin na si teacher 1, 2, 3, HT, MT, and then sa atin. Now, teachers, if you are listening, please also follow. So, follow the RPMS cycle. That is why, pag si school head, palagi na siyang nagre-remind, he is also doing his task. Sa man si sir, oy samok man ni kaayo. No, because we have that. We have to see to it that you are also on the right track. So this RPMS, we have this cycle. So, have you already have you done with the agreement This is it. Ito yung nakaya ko last time. Kumusta na kaya ako ngayon? So, are your works are being tracked? Are your tasks are being tracked? Kasi pag wala tayong cycle, we wi- we will be at loss, no? At loss, school head, asa padulong si teacher, asa punta padulong. So, when will be that the completion of the RPMS on the later part? So, iba na yon. Actually, iba rin naman, no? We already done that. So, kaya nga may portfolio. That portfolio will somehow mapuno na siya before the end. Dili kay mao pay pagpananggal unya ipanulod kita pod musara pud tong naa mura poy ipanulod. So let's try to do it in such a manner that human naman nato ni kabalo naman ta. What is our target? Ayaw ta mag-target og BS ta tanan. BS naman jud ta. So let's try to have our target as outstanding. Why? Mahulog man ta, BS lang ta gihapon. So kaya man mag-outstanding. Nganong dili man pwede. So pwede jud siya. Okay, next Sir Jemar. We come now to number 4, perform school leadership, management, and operation functions. Wow. Produce a school strategic plan. Now, January is our target setting month. No, because giilalisan naman na, is it an academic year? Is it a school year? Sa AIP, calendar man yun siya. Pag abot sa isa, academic year. That is why we have this goal setting every January. Hala, wala lagi pa mi ana. Ay, human na mi ana. But let's try to revisit. Ano ba talaga ang gusto natin? Where are we heading? So, on the afternoon, let us have our own mini inset, no, for the reminders. We could sit down and then talk on the matters for our school. Take note, teachers, hindi pag-aari ni principal ang school. Actually, it's the community in itself. Alam natin yan sa SBM. But this time, na-inset, alam nga na mag-atuang panihon yun si community. Dirita, magsabot ta. Naa naman tay AIP. Naa naman tay SIP. I-check daw nato. Maybe you would ask, asaning PPAs, the projects, the programs, the activities. So, diskarte ng bawat principal to accomplish it together with the team. And who's the team? It's you, our teachers. Dili man pwede na si principal lang. Kauban jud ta. Why? Pag success, it's really the whole school. Pag failure, pwede kay principal man. Sakit, no? But really, it is the school itself. So, kawawa. What we really wanted is para sa school itself. Okay, move up to 4.2. The school head has monitored, tracked school performance indicator with 0 dropout rate. Dear teachers, ayaw jud mo kasuko nga mangita jud big pamaagi nga wala jud mo i-drop. Why? It's really in there. We are not the one making it. It is really in this OPCRF. That is why pag na-enroll na siya nimo, it's in our care, kinabuhi na jud na siya. If nag-drop na siya, namatay jud siya nga life. No? So, ana lang. That even 1 dropout will lead you to a score of 4. 2 dropouts will lead you to a score of 3. Sakit kayo, no? May pa ang 4 or more dropouts, so 1 lang jud na siya permanente. So, ayaw, we have ALS. We have Alternative Learning System. Pag dili jud niya makaya, we have that alternative delivery mode. Dili niya kaya ani kaya ho jud niya na sa pikas. So, ay wala naman siya ma'am, wala na, dili ra pod. Ingon ra man pod si sir, wala lang, wala naman tay mahimo ana. We really have to abot natin ang mundo because even if you are in Japan right now, if you enrolled in our alternative delivery mode, kaya gani ingon anita atong set up, wala man jud tay bata sa school. So, ba't nagkakaroon pa tayo ng dropout? So, ma'am, wala na jud koy mahimo. Naa jud kay mahimo ana. So, on number 5, the parents' involvement and community partnership. In this area, my salute to all the school heads. Why? It's really innate, right? Na hindi po kami nabubuhay kung wala pong partnership. That is why PTA, SGC, the barangay council, the private individuals, the community education advocates, they are really there for us. So ang iba nga, abot pa ang mga internationals, partners. But the school principal, wala na akong masabi dyan, magaling sila dyan. And for number 6, the professional growth and development. So, eskwela pa rin, no? And the teachers, if you are their teachers in a school, nagpa-enroll, nag-MA, nag-doctors, don't you know nga grabe among kalipay, ana? Why? Because this professional growth, it has to be a collaborative. Dili kay doktor si ma'am lang di magpaka-doktor. It would really be a great accomplishment for each of your school heads that there will really be a doctor, a master's in the school. So, mausab man jud good, no? Our point of view, our academic, not a struggle, but our academic achievement, our academic directions, it really has a good impact if we are really doing ourselves being developed. So, asam na siya makuha. Dili man na siya pwede istoryahan lang, eskwelahan jud na siya. And number 7, support to personnel administration, DTRs. Dear school heads, we should really be thankful that the cluster, pagka-5, pagka-4, pagka-3 in a month, di ba magkabuang na tag-apas, no? Because I was so stunned during the meeting that we have, na day mga co-principals, that they don't have salaries for 6 months. Hadlok, no? Kana bang pwede na ay mabuhi? Why? Because they don't have DTRs. And then, ang ilang reason is nawala daw. That is why we really have to keep track on that. And then, when it is being tracked, kumplituho na jud siya. The cluster is very efficient with this. Sa ako ang side, I could say, na wala pala'y 5, nabalik, dili po siya. Masubmit siya, and then in that month, mabalik man ang DTR. Naka-experience ko, that was a very long time ago na nawala ang DTR. But this time, dili baya po. Pag nasulod po sa office ato mga ESDSS, they really see to it na mapirmahan po nila. So, ang problema lang dyan sa DTR, kung kaisa ra pud ta mohimo sa isa ka bulan, keeping all the CAs. So karon pa lang with the katong mga IWAR, naka-type na dayta ana, no? Murag dali lang siya. So please be reminded of our DTRs. And then complied, okay na. And then the uniforms. Karon di lang ta mag-uniform, pero uniforms are good. Dili na ka magproblema what to wear and all. Okay kaayo, no? Ma'am, the color. Problema na in a school kami, lailay may color, but we really have to. And then, the plus factor. This time, with our plus factor, good if we have speakership. Good if we are winners. Kay naan na jud sila. So kung paistoryahon ganita, when we are given chance to be speakers, when we are giving chance to be member of the technical working group and all, and a cluster task, maningkamot pud ta ana. Okay? Do not forget our action research. That is a very good attachment. Do not forget in documenting all our initiatives, innovations, para somehow in our rekla, in our promotion, that to be part. Okay, the next one is, murag ginadali-dali na jud ko kaayo ni Sir Jemar, but the PPSSH, because Sir Jan will actually will be giving his time for us. So PPSSH, Surgeon told me that Sir Kanda in the region, they are going to discuss it again. So in 2019 in Bohol, that PPSST and the PPSSH, it was conducted. However, with the pandemic that we have, everything was being freeze. And I don't know what will happen next. But Sir told me that Sir Kanda is actually doing, and he is going to roll it out, this PPSSH. So my reminder is this: where are the booklet that we have? That is the DepEd Order number 24, series of 2020. I just hope that will still be our Bible. Do not forget it. We have this one for the PPST sa teacher, wala man siya nausab. But for us, for the school heads, please browse it. I cannot give this in detail, everything, but I just like you to be reminded for this Philippine professional standards for the school heads. Anyway, we will jump up to number 34 of the slides. What is that? So, yeah, number 34. Sige. 3, 4. Enter. Okay. So, this is it, the adaptation adoption of the PPSSH. So it's a booklet. I just hope you have that. We already done this, and then try to look the content of it. What are the career stages, the domains, the strands, and then the indicator. So domain 1, the leading strategically, the managing school operation and resources, focusing on teaching and learning, developing self and others, building connections. So, are we leading strategically? Are we managing our school operation and resources efficiently? Are we doing on the right track, focusing on teaching and learning? Are we developing professionally ourselves and others? And what about our community? Those are our reminders. We have discussed that, and if you try to look back on our Officer RF, it's still included. So, we have the 4 career stages, the 5 domains, the 34 strands, and the 34 indicators per career stage. So, if this will be again refreshed to us by the region, magaling na tayo dito. So, let's try to see. Sige daw. Am I in career stage 1? Am I in career stage 2? Am I in career stage 3? Or stage 4 na ako? Hindi cancer ha, the career. Kung stage 1 ka pa lang, you simply demonstrate. So, mga aspiring school heads, yung nagsisimula. But if you are already a school head, you are now professionally independent in performing functions. So, napa ang technical assistance. However, we do it our own. No, we are already have that skills. Why? Tapos naman tayo sa makaya na natin yung basic. We can already demonstrate it, the authority, responsibility, accountability. By this time, since we are school heads, we are now professionally independent. Yun nga ang nakakamangha, di ba? Our mga bago nating school heads. Nobody taught us kung iging ani ka step 1 sa imong school, step 2. But when you are there, di ba na, you are just amazed na, kaya raman di ay nako. Why? Because you have that, you can demonstrate your basic knowledge and then all the while, uy, I can do it independently. So now, yeah, with technical assistance, but nobody taught us that step 1, step 2, step 3, pero kinakaya. Bakit? Kasi nga, that a basic that we have, gihimo jud kang school head, di jud na siya sulagma. There is really that ability in you. But if you are now exhibiting advanced skills in performing your function as instructional leader and as administrative manager, you are in career stage 3. So even yourself, you can actually gauge, am I in career stage 1? Career stage 1 pa jud ko, kaingon ani pa jud ko. At this time, I can do it on my own. Ay, career stage 2 na daay ko. But I can now have these advanced skills. Wow, am I doing career stage 3? But if you are now a model, the highest standards of practice in performing your function as instructional leader and administrative manager, wow, congratulations. You are in career stage 4. So, ma'am, can a new school head exhibit career stage 3? Why not? If he can really do it into to verbatimly all the things that the career stage 3 is required of. So, pwede ra. Sometimes, muratag na sa career stage 1, sometimes nata sa career stage 3. But my inspiration, encouragement to you is try to level ourselves as well. Medyo matagal-tagal na ako naging school head. Kaya ko na siguro magiging career stage 4. Para naman si bagong school head, nagiging model na din tayo. Kung dili gani, si dugay naman, ma'am, maura maghapon na iyang style, oy, mas hawd pa man ko ana niya, it hurts. But sometimes, it's true. So, try to focus what career stage you wanted to. Okay, so you read that one, you try to really study it by heart para pagpangutan-on taon sa di mga career stage, what are all those things, we can really know it. Sige, it's 11:50 in my time. This would be the last slide. School heads, as stewards of schools, play a crucial role in ensuring and enabling and supportive environment for effective teaching and learning to happen. So, are you really in your post for that effective teaching and effective learning? It is really my prayer that as a school head, we are really there to be their compass, their guide, their really school head in itself. So, my dear colleagues, I will end this up for our PSDS. Will give us more, will expound some more, and will give us another TA for all of us. I just wish that we have a grasp of understanding, a sort of inspiration for each one to really move on with our respective tasks. Maayong udto kanatong tanan and happy NCIT Day, Cluster 6.
Thank you very much. That was Dr. Leia M. Camelates, the very energetic and enthusiastic principal of Mintal Comprehensive High School. Thank you very much, Mom, for providing us a valuable information and for the loving and gentle reminder that all of us must do our job diligently, even with less supervision from our school heads. At this time, we will have back on screen our PSDS of Cluster 6 for a very important announcement. Let us have Dr. Janito O. Galan.
Okay. Good noon, everyone. So I will be giving a reminder for 5 minutes only. Good that Doc Leia had presented the DTR. Now it seems that kuan lang ni siya ha. This is just a reminder that there is a division memorandum that DTR must be submitted to the division office on the 5th day of the month, no, succeeding month. Now, please be reminded, especially the school heads, that some of you submitted your DTR in the 20th, no, of the month, 28th of the month. Please be reminded that the 5th day is the deadline in the division office. The 4th day is the deadline in the cluster. Okay? Now, second reminder, please take note that the work from home for this week is approved by the division office. However, for the school heads and teachers as well, even the non-teaching personnel, there must be a work arrangement, skeletal workforce. See to it that the school has personnel to serve our clienteles, our stakeholders for this week. Dili pasabot nga work from home, tanan wala gyud tao ang school, especially the small schools. Dapat merong skeletal workforce within this week from Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. Please be reminded, my dear school heads, that you have to check, no, the attendance of our teachers for this NSET or for this major performance review and evaluation, considering that the attendance must be reflected in the IWAR, individual work accomplishment report. Okay, another reminder for the school heads that the submission of our request for cash advances for the MOOE must be checked first by our ADAS. For junior high school, we have MJ Abrio, and for the senior high school is Mr. Jan Sakibal. For the integrated schools, that must be checked by the ADAS of the district. Again, for first quarter, second quarter, third quarter, and fourth quarter, all RCS must be checked by the ADAS assigned for junior high school and senior high school, except for the implementing units, because the implementing units must have their fiscal autonomy. However, for the non-implementing units, we have to submit it by bonds to the division office. I will be assigning Mr. Armando Trabero because the one who will submit this in bunch is the school head. Again, for the junior high school, the in-charge is MJ Abrio of Mintal Comprehensive High School. For the senior high school, Mr. Jan Sakibal of Mintal Comprehensive High School, Senior High School. So I will be crafting this memorandum for this assignment of the RCAs. Now, please take note that for the DTR, we have to religiously do this, in the submission, considering that we are now piloting the implementing units for the 1530 payroll scheme. So in short, my payroll na sa 15th day of the month and 38th day of the month. So in short, kailangan yung mga DTR should be submitted online. Baka hindi kayo mabigyan ng sahod for the succeeding month. So, yung mga implementing schools will be the pilot for this implementation: Mintal Comprehensive High School, Tagakpan National High School, Los Amigos National High School, and Biao National High School. And after that pilot school, the implementation of the 1530 payroll scheme, the non-implementing school or the PSU will follow. Okay, another reminder, ang mag-demo teach it should be video recorded. It should, the memo will be, okay. Please submit your names, no? Through channel natin yung mga school heads. For those who want to be a demo teacher, must submit an ABP, no, video recorded, a maximum of 15 minutes. Then submit the names to Dr. Leia Camilotes. Okay, now for this output for the day one, please take note that all teachers and even the school heads must submit an individual output for the IPCRF. Now, we are now in the 50% accomplishment for our IPCRF. And in this connection, all teachers and school heads must submit your IPCRF, no? I know that you have accomplished the target, 50%. You have now your MOVs. Please do this IPCRF. The submission will be on Friday. Okay? It should be, for teachers, it should be checked by the school heads. And for the school heads, it should be checked by the PSDS. So dapat meron na kayong accomplishment based on the target, based on the KRAs and the objectives and targets. So submission will be on Friday. Okay? Because in some other divisions, yung IPCRF nila is dalawa, no? By semester, no? Ngayon isang IPCRF and the other one is another IPCRF. That is very advantageous for the school heads and teachers, especially those who plan for promotion. Gusto ma-promote, kailangan ng good ang cycle. So, dapat may IPCRF. Ang sa atin, sa Division of Davao City, parang ginawa ng twice. Pero in some other divisions, they have 2 IPCRF in every, in a year. Okay? Now, another reminder, no? I just want to announce this in advance, pero wala pang memorandum coming from Sir Giliena that the search for the outstanding schools will be sustained. There must be a part 2 search for most outstanding school, search for most conducive school na instead of effective school, improved school. So search na for most outstanding school, most conducive school, but this time no more categories. No more small, medium, large, and small, medium, and large. So pantay-pantay na sila, mag-compete ang small, medium, and large. Still, the representation must be coming from the cluster who will represent to the division level. And this time, there will be an additional, the search for most outstanding classroom from kindergarten to grade 12. So starting February, I will be monitoring for the search for this outstanding classroom from kindergarten to grade 12, meaning to say there will be 13 classrooms who will be our entries for the division level. So kindergarten to grade 6, that is for the integrated school. For grade 7 to grade 12, that is for the junior high school and senior high school. So yung i-recommend ko, dapat in your end, in your school, meron na kayong pang-entry for the K to 12. For me, as cluster head, I will be monitoring only the only one grade level kay di gud na makayag monitor ang kinder to grade 12. So isa lang ka grade level ang i-monitor. So I will be evaluating who will be our entry for kindergarten up to grade 12 for the division search for most outstanding classroom. Okay, so far, mo lang akong reminders. Thank you so much to our kudos to the resource speakers, no? This afternoon, kudos, congratulations to the production team coming from MCHS, Santo Niño, and Tacuna National High School. Keep up the good work. Napa? Am I here? Napa? So sa mga this afternoon ha, ang inyuhang buhaton is you have to contextualize whatever mga outputs that you will have, whatever plans and programs, activities that you will have, you can have your target setting in your school because that's based on your performance. Okay? Performance mata target setting. So, depende na sa school, but I want to suggest that especially to the school heads that your target setting must be based on the improvement of learning outcomes based na sa division target and cluster target. Okay?
Thank you very much, Dr. Junito Ogalan, our PSDS in Cluster 6. I would like to reiterate, I would like to inform that later this afternoon, we will have our school-based IPCRF checking and presentation to be spearheaded by the different school heads of each school. With that, please do not forget to have your online attendance through the given link below, for we will be closing that one right after our live streaming. And please also access our evaluation link later this afternoon at 4 o'clock. On behalf of the Technical Working Group of Santo Niño National High School, headed of course by our school principal, Ma'am Heidi L. Forzuelo, and together with the Technical Working Group of Mintal Comprehensive High School and Tacuna National High School, we thank you very much for your active participation on the different discussions we've had a while ago. This has been your host. I am Hazel Joy A. M. Nase. Thank you very much and good afternoon to all.